029. Again, that stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And if you haven't heard, the show is now noon to 2 p.m., Monday through Friday. NFL training camps are underway. We'll get you the latest from the Cardinals and around the league. Major League Baseball trade deadline is coming quickly. What do the Diamondbacks do? And we'll keep an eye on their games. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the Main Event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 99.3 and 1580 The Fanatic.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Say Taco Tuesday on Daily Blender here on Tuesday, July 26th, 2022. This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale. My name is Randy White. That is the sexiest man in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien still on vacation. He'll be back this week. And you are texting in on our text line at 888-368-1580 as we begin a Tuesday edition. Keon, lots going on. Lots going on in the world of sports. But before we get too far into this, I have some breaking news.
Newsflash. This is breaking news.
About an hour ago, it was reported Julio Jones is no longer a free agent. He signed a one-year contract to go to Tampa Bay. So the Buccaneers get rich and add some receiver depth in Tampa Bay. Does this push Tampa Bay to be the favorite in the NFC? Or are the Rams still up there?
I think the Rams are still up there. I can't push Tampa Bay above with the addition of Julio Jones, because whether or not Julio helps them is really depending on whether or not he stays healthy. And that's something that he's struggled to do the last handful of years.
It's only a one-year deal, though.
Yeah, it's a 1 year. It's not a risk that they're taking, but until I see Julio play 4-5 games in a row without getting seriously injured, I don't know how much he's going to help them. It's not a big risk, it's not a big commitment. They've already got a bunch of wide receivers. If Julio's healthy, he absolutely makes them the favorite, because that dude, when he is 100%, you could make the argument he is either the best receiver in football or damn near close, in that top 3 group of guys. He just hasn't been healthy for the last 3 years, maybe even 4.
Yeah, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, Brashad Perriman, and Russell Gage are also in that wide receiver room. And now joining them, Julio Jones, who leads the NFL in receiving yards since 2014. And Mike Evans leads the NFL in touchdown catches. They're both now on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think this is far and away a needle mover as far as the NFC goes. Far and away.
And I'm inclined to agree with you. It's just the health that I've seen deteriorate with Julio lately.
But they're not going to have to. They're not going to have to really worry about that with the wide receiver room. They're not going to have him out there as much as he's been leaned on before, Keon.
Yeah, I mean, they needed him in Atlanta. That was
here. He's just
time there.
He's just a cog in the wheel, so to speak. Here he's just a piece of the puzzle.
And if he's healthy come playoff time, look out.
Okay, so that's one piece of breaking news here as we open up the Tuesday Daily Blender. Another piece of breaking news.
Newsflash. This is breaking news.
I saw this come out just a few moments before it went on the air. Now, I don't know how old it is, but the Cardinals today have placed wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown on the non-football injury list with a hamstring ailment. Your eyes go up like, I hadn't heard that. 24-year-old who was with the Ravens last year, and we did that that trade night move, or draft night move where we got him. Had 91 catches, 1,008 yards, 6 touchdowns, 16 games with the Baltimore Ravens last season. Is now on the NFI list for the Arizona Cardinals as we head into camp this week. What's your take on that?
Well, it's obviously bad news. I mean, it's not, look, if he's going to get hurt, better to get hurt now than in the middle of the season when they need you, especially
it's a
in that
hamstring, man.
in that first stretch of games when they really need you. Yeah, but I think
they really needed him to be solid for the first 6 games.
They do. And I'm saying it's early enough in training camp. They can get you through it slowly. Put a lot of emphasis on taking care of that hamstring. It's happening now and not, week 2 of the preseason. Because that would be a killer.
I don't see the difference because it's a hamstring injury. And not only that, it's a non-football injury, which could mean anything. He could have done this on the, on the Peloton bike.
Mm-hmm.
He could have done this jogging. He could have done this running away from an angry girlfriend. Who knows? It was a non-football injury. He injured this away from the team, so therefore it's not a pup injury. It is a non-football injury, and it could it be any worse? Am I just the battered and abused Cardinal fan who has seen promise snatched out of the hands of the Cardinal fans for years, and now I'm overreacting? Is this an overreacting, Keon? Talk me down off the ledge.
I think it's just a little bit because of how early in camp this is. We still have obviously the end of all of July. We still have August. We have all the way up until September 11th. The first Sunday of the NFL season. So I'm not going to panic too much about this just yet because I think with a month and a half and maybe more, you can get him to be healthy enough to where he'll be a viable receiver on Sunday.
And I have even more breaking news.
Wow.
Newsflash. This is breaking news.
I mean, you don't get this just anywhere else. You get this on the Tuesday edition of the Daily Blender. This just coming in from CBS Sports. And we were going to talk about Drew Jones here, the Diamondbacks' number 2 overall pick in this year's draft. Drew Jones has injured his shoulder in his first batting practice with the team. He just signed an $8 million signing bonus yesterday, and now he's injured. Suffered what could be a season-ending injury, shoulder injury, while taking his first batting practice as a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks organization, according to Zach Buchanan.
Randy, I don't think I can talk you off of this one. I don't know if I can help you.
The 18-year-old has already undergone an MRI and will meet with a Phoenix-based orthopedic surgeon on Wednesday to determine the next course of action. I can take the Julio Jones. I could take that. I was kind of outside hoping the Cardinals would make a run at Julio Jones and we would somehow pick him up.
That would have been nice.
I thought, okay, D-Hop, and I'm not going to say anything on the air about it, but boy, wouldn't that be cool if the Cardinals got Julio Jones and we have Hollywood Brown. Now everybody can start to relax about D-Hop, and we get Julio on a 1-year thing, and he comes in, and we're looking pretty good in the receiver room. And then D-Hop comes back, and then he signs with the Buccaneers. Okay, I can deal with that. And then Hollywood Brown injured. It was like the last hour here of my life has just been one catastrophe after another in the sports world.
Yeah, it's the worst series of breaking news maybe we've ever had on this show.
Man, I don't even know. I got to go till 6 o'clock tonight. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just okay. So let's go back to we'll get back to Drew Jones in just a minute, because we were going to talk about him. He was on the TV last night. Young, promising star, a 5-tool player. This kid is a lot of promise for a team that desperately needs some good news. Had a great game last night. I wanted to talk about that, but I wanted to put this to bed. Marquise Hollywood Brown out with a non-football injury, hamstring ailment, and typically the guy's a wide receiver. Okay, so let's just cut to the chase. We all know it. Look, it might be a minor thing, but look, if this hamstring injury is anything of substance, this could be nagging him all season long. This could nag him all season long. We could hear about this hamstring injury all season long. And remember, you're giving up a guy who just last year, 91 catches, 1,008 yards, 6 touchdowns, 16 games.
And he's a speedster. That's the role that you want him to play. And he's going to have to cut and burst. That's going to need the hamstring. So they're going to have to take it easy with him.
If he misses any time at all, here's what we got. AJ Green. See, I was hoping Julio Jones would come in. But we have AJ Green, Rondale Moore, D Hop is out. I mean, that's about it. I mean, we don't have a whole lot. We got rid of Christian Kirk. And this article here says Andy Isabella, but I don't think Andy Isabella is on this team. I think we released him, or we traded him, or we moved him. I don't think Andy Isabella is still on the Cardinals. And this article that I'm reading here says Andy Isabella. Good Lord, it is a catastrophic Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. Let's go to the text line quickly. Big George, bring me some good news, Big George. 888-368-1580. Good morning. Hello, gentlemen. Happy Taco Tuesday. Yeah, not so much, Big George.
It's a Taco Tuesday. I don't know how happy it is right now.
Well, okay, it's Taco Tuesday. All right, there's that. How about those Diamondbacks? Jack stomping the. Okay, all right, just hold right there. We'll talk about that. No, I don't believe in miracles. I believe in reality. Mr. Wilbur, Hollywood Brown, cut him. Just kidding. Thanks, Mr. Wilbur. I mean, it's already growing cloudy at my house. There's a dark cloud as I look out my window. If you're watching on the Facebook or the YouTube or the Twitter or wherever you might be, you can see me looking out my window. There is a dark cloud over my house right now.
Which is impressive, because there usually aren't dark clouds over your house.
I know. This is catastrophic Tuesday. Fish Tank, you think Brady has a dartboard of down on their luck wide receivers, and whichever one he hits, he calls them up for a job? I'll tell you what, I wish we had Julio Jones right now. Down on his luck or not, don't care. Blissful Hayes, who's more injury prone, Julio Jones or J.J. Watts?
Julio Jones. Lately, Julio Jones. He hasn't been healthy for like 4 seasons in a row.
Wow. The Last Optimist says Isabella is officially on the Cardinals roster for now. Berg, afternoon, guys. Isabella, I think, is still technically on the team. Thank you.
He's just not going to be in the offense at all. Or maybe he is now. Who knows?
Yeah, he's really fast. Man, he can sprint. Problem is he can't catch the damn ball. Blissful Hayes, this would be a perfect time for Larry Legend to sign with the Cardinals to lead them to a Super Bowl victory. Yeah, no.
And what you would be asking Larry to do, you wouldn't be asking Hollywood Brown to do. Hollywood Brown's going to stretch the field. Larry, if he wanted to play, and he clearly doesn't, at this point in his career, wouldn't be the stretch the field guy.
Wow. Well, okay, so devastating news. In case you're just joining us and you got here a little late, I'll mark you tardy. But the Cardinals' Marquise Hollywood Brown has been placed on the NFI list with the Cardinals because of a hamstring injury. Cliff Kingsbury says, not really a big deal. We'll just kind of wait and see how it goes.
It's time to rise up.
I don't understand. Like, I don't know what Cliff Kingsbury, I don't know how to read him. Cliff Kingsbury's house would be on fire and he'd be like, it's not a big deal. Fire department's on their way.
Yeah, it's his stuff.
I've got
His
insurance.
stuff.
Yeah.
The Berg back on the text line, 888-368-1580. Hope you're feeling well, Berg. Says maybe they trade him to Chicago for a 7th-round pick like the Patriots did with N'Keal Harry. Now, there we go. See now, why couldn't we have landed N'Keal Harry?
He stays healthy. Just saying.
He didn't even put in a down with the team. Does he even have a locker? Can somebody tell me, does Hollywood Brown have a locker? And he's already hurt. The Big Risk says, I don't think the receivers are going to make a huge difference for the Cardinals anyway. Kyler Murray will never win a Super Bowl. He just doesn't have it. Cardinals made a huge mistake giving him that contract. Thank you for the positivity, The Big Risk. Meanwhile, Kyler Murray and his contract has been all the buzz around all the news cycles today. Keon and I were just chatting before we went on the air. You know why the Cardinals did this, right? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and tell them what you found. Go ahead.
Well, we were
tell the listeners, tell the Fourth Dimension what you found.
We were speculating yesterday that there had to be some reason why the Cardinals put in their contract or in Kyler Murray's contract what they put in there. About him having to have at least 4 hours of film study every week. They put the homework clause in the contract. And a story surfaced from the New York Times last year, an interview with Kyler Murray. It's actually a really, really insightful article if you kind of want to know how Kyler Murray ticks a little bit. It's called Inside the Mind of Kyler Murray. It's behind a paywall. So, do with that what you will, but I think it's like $1 for a week of the New York Times. Worth it to read this thing. And in the article, as you get closer to the end, Kyler says this in the article. I think I was blessed with cognitive skills to just go out there and just see it before it happens, Murray said. I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit there and kill myself watching film. I don't sit there for 24 hours and break down this team and that team and watch every game because in my head, I see so much.
Oh, boy. Now I have read before you comment, a great find, by the way, Keon. But I've read a bevy of op-ed pieces today from so-called experts criticizing the Cardinals for making their quarterback look stupid and not and aloof, making it look bad for Kyler Murray that he has to do his homework. Who goes on in the new? Who goes out there but a cocky little kid and say, well, I don't need to do much film work. I can see it before it happens. That sounds like a 15-year-old talking to his old man, Yeah, old man, right, whatever. And then when the 15-year-old turns 30, wow, Dad, you were right.
As always, yeah.
Wow, Dad. Yeah, I had no idea.
Listen, as an NFL quarterback, if it were me, you couldn't have waterboarded that out of me. I would never, even if I thought that about myself, I would never admit that out loud. I wouldn't say that to a reporter. You could torture me for hours. You wouldn't get that out of me. I don't even know how to respond to that. You cannot.
Look, even if you believe it, you're exactly right.
you don't say it.
You don't say it out loud. Come on, man. Berg says it's going to be okay. Mustard sucks. The Choco Taco's going away. That's another one. Breaking news. Breaking news today.
This is breaking news.
Yeah, the Choco Taco. It's going away. 40 years. 40 years it's been around. And for no apparent reason, the people that make the Choco Taco, they're just discontinuing. We don't want to make it anymore.
Why not?
I don't know. Big risk. Sorry, Cards fans. Didn't mean to burst your bubbles. I just haven't seen enough from him so far, and I think he's overrated. Look what he did against the Rams last year. Maybe he could play for the D-backs instead. No. Well, maybe now. He is an outfielder since our top draft pick this year has injured himself and is needing surgery. Jeez. Blissful Hayes. Cardinals should trade for Christian Kirk. Last optimist thought the Cardinals might try to trade Isabella for Nikhil. Maybe they tried and the Pats wanted a 7th rounder instead. Could be. Time to take a break. I'm going to walk away. You continue to text in. We've got a lot of things going on. Hollywood Brown on the non-football injury list for the Cardinals. Just that just hit. That just hit. Yes, last optimist. Of course you can. I'm not going to say that on the air. And then Hollywood Brown, he's hurt. And then our number 1 draft pick for the Cardinals. He's injured himself in his first batting practice with the team. Had an MRI and is seeking an opinion and advice on what to do next for surgery on his arm. Oh, dear God, it's a bad day here on the Daily Blender. But we're going to try to get through it together here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
With the second half of the season in full swing, the Dodgers are the heavy favorites to take home a National League pennant at minus 5,000 after opening and minus 200 before the season. The Padres are at plus 1,600 and the Giants at plus 1,660. Most recent American League odds much tighter with the Yankees at plus 275 and the Astros plus 375. The NFL preseason underway a week from Thursday ahead of Hall of Fame weekend. The Jaguars and Raiders in Canton. The Buffalo Bills, the favorite to win the Super Bowl at plus 600, Tampa Bay plus 700, and the Chiefs and Packers plus 1,000. Diamondbacks hosting the Giants, Arizona plus 120 on the money line, San Francisco minus 152, the over-under at 7.5. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper pet kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part, Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit. Because shed happens.
Hey, Mike, what are you doing way up on that ladder? You're going to hurt yourself.
Oh, I'm trying to unclog these gutters.
That's smart. I had water damage from my gutters last year. It cost me $10,000.
Wait, $10,000?
Yeah, and from over here, it looks like water's been pouring over your clogged gutters, and it's probably doing real damage to your foundation. You need to do what I did. Get off the ladder and call Leaf Filter.
Yeah, but I need to get these gutters flowing now.
That's why you need to call Leaf Filter. They'll clean and realign your gutters and install their exclusive micro mesh screen system so nothing gets in your gutters except water.
So Leaf Filter protects my house from damage and means no more gutter cleaning for me?
Bingo! Plus, Leaf Filter has an industry-leading lifetime warranty, so your gutters are covered for life.
Thanks, Frank. I'm calling Leaf Filter today.
Don't go another day with your home unprotected. Call 800-961-4181 or go to tryleaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection. Call 800-961-4181 or go to tryleaffilter.com right now for an extra 15% savings. Call 800-961-4181 or go to tryleaffilter.com. That's 800-961-4181.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
DQ presents Picture This. Picture yourself at DQ on Thursday, July 28th for Miracle Treat Day. You roll up to order a Blizzard with your friends and family like you have so many times before. But on this day, every flavor comes with a much-needed dose of hope. For every Blizzard you buy at participating locations, $1 or more will be donated to Children's Miracle Network hospitals for your local children's hospital, making Miracle Treat Day the most satisfying way to give hope to kids in your community. Thursday, July 28th at DQ.
Admit it, you love the action.
You love the excitement.
For a touchdown.
You love the big
Right
plays.
sideline, the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5, rock and roll, touchdown.
And you love the big hits.
So do we.
The NFL. We've got the games you want and the info you need. Listen for the latest 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for the NFL.
Trying to get this Tuesday to turn from catastrophic to wonderful. One way we're going to do that, Friday, we're going to give another $100 gift certificate away to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. And I don't know, Keon, Jeffrey emailed, I think he emailed you too. He emailed us and said we need to come up with a way to give this one away this week. So I don't know what we can do. I know the morning show, they have their little, qualifiers or whatever they call it, the qualifiers. I don't know what we can do. I don't know. Maybe we have text of the day. Text of the day gets you entered into a drawing. And on Friday afternoon, we give away the $100 gift certificate. No, this is not a $20. This is not a $50. Hell, this is not even a $75. It's a $100 gift certificate to a to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, a place that you're going to want to go and enjoy the spectacular atmosphere, the amazing food. And they're opening a new post. Did you know they're opening a new restaurant?
I didn't know that.
In the West Valley, out here in the West Valley.
Well, that's cool. So so now you don't have to drive a million miles to go over here.
Yeah, it was just out in the Scottsdale area, but now in the West Valley, the Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. I think we should maybe later on in the show we should pull up the menu and just talk about some of the mouth-watering things they have. And they prepare your dinner right at your table, as Jeffrey likes to say, with flair. It's dinnertainment. So the chefs are amazing, the environs amazing, the food amazing. And you can get a sample of it, a $100 gift certificate. We're giving it away. It's part of the the Christmas in July, Kasai Christmas in July program they're doing. Who doesn't like a nice steak dinner? I ask you. 888-368-1580. Now, speaking of delicious, Keon, I don't know if you know about the Choco Taco.
I don't know much about it.
All right, let me explain to you what the Choco Taco. First of all, you know what a Klondike bar is, right?
Yeah.
Is it a heavenly ice cream covered with a great chocolate and oh my God, it's smooth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Klondike makes the Choco Taco and have been doing so for the last 40 years. It is a delicious treat. Now here, let me describe for you. The Choco Taco. It's a waffle cone that is shaped into the shape of a taco. And it has light vanilla ice cream encased in the waffle cone, partially covered with milk chocolate and topped with peanuts.
That sounds good.
Inside of it, there's a light drizzling inside of it of the chocolate intermingled with that light vanilla ice cream. And the oh my God, the flavors together. 40 years it's been going on. And Klondike has just decided, you know what, we're done. I'm kind of tired of it. Citing a spike in other Klondike things. Maybe their Klondike bar.
Yeah, it's a damn shame.
So you know what? Get rid of the Choco Taco. I say we riot. You start painting your signs up, and let's go find the nearest Klondike place, and we stand outside until they bring the Choco Taco back. I mean, that's what I would say.
Now, the co-founder of Reddit, said that he would like to buy the rights to the Choco Taco.
Oh, really?
So that someone out there can keep making it.
I don't know what to think about that. 50 years, Choco Taco. You know, at one point, Taco Bell partnered with Klondike to bring the Choco Taco back. It was going to go away. These evil people at Klondike just want to get rid of the Choco Taco. I mean, why, when you have something as magnificent as the Choco Taco, do you want to do away with it?
I have no idea. That they, I understand inflation is a thing, but you can make this work. Klondike has enough money and resources to figure out what needs to be done to make sure that the Choco Taco stays alive.
I mean, there's a real picture of it right there. The takeout on the Twitterverse right there. There's a picture of the actual Choco Taco. Man. I bet if Mike McCarthy saw that, they'd get nothing done at Cowboys practice.
He might single-handedly keep the Choco Taco in business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, Jerry wants everyone to know that he's got other options, and Mike McCarthy is the best option for this team. He said that today. 888-368-1580. Mars Bar says, "Happy Taco Tuesday, guys. Sounds like players for the Cardinals are coming up like Murray, short." You're so damn funny. I'll take an 805, please. And there's always room on the dark side, Randy. Go Raiders. Silly Wabbit must have steak. Okay.
Yeah, they got plenty of it at Kasai. Just saying.
Kasai, yeah, Japanese steakhouse, where they fix your dinner right at your table with flair. Boogie says, "Is it too late to slide? Must not be a Mets fan into all contracts for 1580 the Fanatic employees."
Much to my chagrin, yes, it is too late to.
It is. Yeah. Against the spread, why is Chicago the land of stupidity? The Bears are leaving Soldier Field, and the spaceship renovation from 19 years ago is only a third of the way paid off. Now Mayor Beetlejuice Lightfoot wants to put a dome on top of Soldier Field to keep the Bears in the city instead of moving to Arlington Heights. What the hell is going on? Against the spread, I love that you bring that up because I wanted to talk about that too. But I did not know the mayor of Chicago's name was Beetlejuice Lightfoot.
It's Lori Lightfoot.
Can we confirm that?
Now, does she happen to look like a Beetlejuice character? Some people might say yes.
Big Stanky 87. Keon, I've been looking at schedules today. I believe your football team guess 8-9, possibly 9-8. Also, Randy, you and Big Steve should do a live race setup. Why? We did that once already. I mean, did you miss it? We did it. It was last November.
NASCAR championship.
Yeah. We already did that. Once it's done, it's lost its luster. Big George says, wait, they're not going to make Choco Taco anymore? That was a staple of Taco Bell. I love the Choco Tacos. I know, Big George. This is a catastrophic Tuesday. The big risk, they're only discontinuing the Choco Taco so they can bring it back later. If the Choco Taco was selling, they wouldn't discontinue it. They'll bring it back in a while and make a big deal out of it for publicity. Why did Coca-Cola discontinue Coke in the 80s? Just so they could bring it back later. Big risk with many different points here on the Daily Blender on the text line at 888-368-1580. All right. Before I get too much farther along here, I want to talk about the Diamondbacks last night. Hell of a game last night. Merrill Kelly really brought the heat last night, going 8 innings, striking out 7, I believe, giving up no earned runs, no walks, and 3 hits, I believe, was the line on Merrill Kelly. And he had a no-no going into, I think it was into the 8th. Before they, and then can I ask a question, Keon?
Mm-hmm.
The guy's got less than 100 pitches in the game. He's being very efficient. Clearly, he's got San Francisco by the throat. They're not going to get to him. And what did Torey Lovullo do? He gets a guy on, and Torey rushes out. He almost sprinted out to the mound to take him out of the game. And following the game says, "I did that so I could protect him." Why are they doing that?
Because that's how. I mean, I don't know. The pitch count is one of the things that especially the analytics guys will keep a very, very close eye on. And they'll say you've got only X amount of pitches per season. I mean, they're counting your season totals with some of this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like you're going to struggle even a little bit. They come in and rescue a guy from nothing. He didn't need to be rescued. He's fine. And I do think that, part of pitching during the regular season is building up that confidence of, you know what, somebody got on, but so what? I don't know that this helps anybody in the long run. And you're not playing for the postseason. You are not making it to the postseason. What are you trying to save the guy for?
This is another problem that I see with the Diamondbacks. This is another reason why Torey Lovullo should not be coaching this team. I don't know why he's the manager of this team. 99 pitches, 61 of them for strikes. The kid wasn't all over the place. He was being very efficient in his delivery. He's being very efficient in his pitch count. He was being very efficient about the way he took on hitters. He attacked them. He attacked the strike zone. His changeup was nasty last night. And the Giants couldn't do anything with him. So what do we do? Come on, kid. You got a runner on base. Let's take you out of the game.
You're rescuing a guy from nothing. It would be like if somebody, fell into a kiddie pool and just couldn't get out of the pool, and you go to save him. No, just stand up. That's all that Merrill Kelly needed to do. Just keep doing what he was already doing, and he would have been fine.
And some of the positives I took away from the game last night, Perdomo, that kid that's been playing shortstop, he showed some fire. Carson Kelly, now that he's feeling better, he showed a little fire last night. David Peralta, he was, where's his line? Peralta, I think he was 2 for 3. He looked good. There was some key hits. Alec Thomas continued to impress me. The kid just gets up there and has a great swing. The problem is these guys they're under poor leadership right now. They're under poor leadership. But Diamondbacks win last night. They go again tonight at Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, against San Francisco. Diamondbacks still fighting to stay solidly planted in last place. They're half behind the Rockies and they're in last place. 7-0 final last night. I don't know what the lineup is tonight. But you have some of these good games, but there always just seems to be some sort of interference on the part of the management staff. 888-368-1580, Big Stanky. I'm pretty sure it was you and Chief, not Big Steve. LOI. I could be wrong. I missed the race setup. Sorry, Big Stanky. Steve, but the championship weekend, it was Chief, myself, and it was Big Steve. All three of us were on the race setup. Blissful Hayes, can you imagine Nolan Ryan's manager taking him out of the game in the 8th inning of a dominating pitching performance? No, because, what happened is Nolan Ryan would beat the hell out of the manager and send him back. Have the bench coach come and get him, roll him back into the dugout.
I want my pitcher to want to be out there. And I think you're killing his drive to do that when the moment somebody gets on base. And like you said, despite the fact that he was pitching efficiently, it wasn't 99 pitches through 8 innings is really damn good. That is high levels of efficiency right there. I think you kill that guy's drive to be that person, to be that killer out there on the mound when you go out there and rescue them from nothing's happening.
Well, in this whole assimilation of mathematics into a baseball game, you're also killing the confidence of this pitcher. We will not have eventually, if you keep going down this road with these analytic type minds controlling the game, you won't have any more dominant pitchers like the Kershaws and the Madison Bumgarners and the Rady Johnsons and the Kurt Schillings or the Nolan Ryans. You won't have any more guys that'll go out there and just, reach back and fire hard. And it was, mano a mano and to take you on. You won't have any more of that. It'll just become a very sterile pencil pusher game. There won't be any more. It'll just be all about analytics. And the game has already got that way.
Yeah, and I think that analytics have their place. I'm not saying get rid of it completely.
Nor am I. But I think, but I think too much of we've gone too far, into the analytic world.
I agree. I think you got to balance it. There's got to be a middle ground between I only listen to numbers and I use my damn eyeballs. There's got to be somewhere in the middle of there.
Well, we can't afford to do it, and I'm sorry to gripe about it, but it was a good game. Merrill Kelly looked really, really strong, very efficient out there. I hope that the Diamondbacks will make a move soon to refresh the management team on this ball club, and we'll bring somebody in here that can lead these guys, can work with young players, can help a team grow, can formulate a disciplined approach to baseball. I got to get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about. I was so excited about Drew Jones, Andrew Jones's son, the number one draftee. They signed him yesterday. But I will give you some good news. The Coyotes have had depth in the coaching ranks. They've hired a 3-time Stanley Cup winner. I'll talk about it next. Around the corner here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper pet kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part, Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper pet kit. Because shed happens.
Wendy's knows cold and soggy fries are the worst.
So soggy.
That's why we're serving up hot and crispy fries all day, every day.
And all night until close.
With natural cut potatoes, sea salted to perfection.
Show me that potato skin.
Wendy's hot and crispy aren't like other fries. We're your dream fry. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's hot and crispy fries.
Guaranteed to be hot and crispy. If yours aren't, bring them back and we'll replace them.
Did you know that Constructors Bonding has been Arizona's leader in surety management for over 40 years? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than anyone, anywhere. Contractors, developers, attorneys, car dealers, and hundreds of other industries turn to Constructors Bonding for their bond solutions. Call me personally at 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution for better bonding.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward into art class.
A 4-foot replica of the Statue of Liberty using elbow macaroni.
With glue and art supplies from Staples.
By tomorrow.
Right now, 24-count Crayola crayons and Polly Pocket folders are just 50 cents each, and 1-inch binders are only $1.99. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. Ends 8/27 in store only, limit 30.
Can you tell which pills contain the deadly dose of fentanyl? Neither can your child. Counterfeit pills laced with fentanyl are killing Arizona's youth at an alarming rate. They're cheap, easy to get, and just one pill can kill. Get the facts on fentanyl at talknowaz.com. Talk with your children. Monitor their texts and social media. Visit talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say you can listen to us on your smart speaker. Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Talking a little baseball here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic got a whole lot to talk about today. Lots of NFL news, lots of things, especially you on the text line at 888-368-1580. Of course, big news today. Hollywood Brown, he's on the non-football injury list, reported today by Coach Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals. He's got a hamstring issue. We'll have to see how major or minor this is. Also, our other big story, the Diamondbacks' first overall draft pick, second overall in the MLB this year, Drew Jones, Andrew Jones' son, a 5-tool kid, steps up there today for his first batting practice, injured his shoulder. Probably going to be a season ender. They've already done an MRI on Drew Jones. The kid just signed an $8.1 million signing bonus yesterday. He was at the ballpark last night. And that's the kind of luck the Diamondbacks have. However, Diamondbacks did win last night, 7-0, and a dominant pitching performance by Merrill Kelly. 4-1 in their last 5 are the Diamondbacks, which includes last night's win. And they go tonight again. I got the information. 6:40 is the first pitch against the Giants. It will be on the hill. Tyler Gilbert for your Snakes. Carlos Rodon for the San Francisco Giants. Again, 6:40 first pitch tonight. And when you look at the line, you go up and down the lineup here for the Arizona Diamondbacks. When your catcher is the leadoff hitter, usually, minds in baseball work this way, Keon. Tell me if I'm wrong. You don't want to put a lumbering catcher as your leadoff hitter. You want a contact hitter, a guy to get up there, get on base, work the count, a guy that's going to get on base. And when he gets on base and now he's a threat to run, you don't want a guy that's bending down, a million times a season for your team to be the leadoff hitter. But that's what we have.
It doesn't make any sense. Catchers are by nature not the fastest people just because of what their job requires. So it doesn't make any sense. Your leadoff guy should be quick. That's just common knowledge, conventional knowledge. Yeah. And you go against conventional knowledge when your idea is better. And having your catcher be your leadoff guy, that's not better.
Hottest hitter on this team with 307 plate appearances. He's 82 for 307 is Ketel Marte. And they're playing him as a DH, and he's hitting 267. That's the best hitter you have on the team. 267.
It's not good. It's not good at all.
All right. 888-368-1580 is the text line. Silly Wabbit says Diamondbacks need to watch the pitch count on their veterans so they can save them for trade bait to get more prospects to continue their role as baseball's farm system. No, now we're not baseball's farm system. That would be the Marlins, Miami Marlins. Used to be the Pirates, but this year the Pirates are actually good. Mr. Pringle says it's true that Kyler's willing to pay someone $20 an hour for 4 hours a week to log online for him. No, it's not true, Mr. Pringle. Big George says, Randy, keep the faith. The D-backs still have a shot at the post. Oh, my God, George.
While they are technically alive, they are not going to the playoffs.
Blissful Hayes says the dime bags need to sign Andrew Jones to play right field. Yeah. Drew Jones's dad. Sign him. Big Stanky, I think Alec Thomas is the best hitter. He's hitting 8th. Well, not what I see. I mean, Alec Thomas is a good hitter. He's hitting 260, but I would totally shuffle this entire thing. And yeah, okay, Christian Walker hits a lot of home runs, but that's the philosophy. That's the Diamondbacks hitting philosophy anymore. instead of trying to hit for average, try to hit the gaps or move guys around, try to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Now let's go up there and say what the pencil pushers in the front office say. You hit home runs, you score more points. That's what analytics says. That's why there's so many. And, baseball seems to think, the people in New York City seems to think that the only way to make this game more exciting is to squelch pitching and to amp up home run hitting and all the antics that go along with it. I don't know that I agree with that.
I don't know that I agree either. I
think if you have a team that's that you compile, that's an exciting team that run the bases, that bunt guys over, that that have some speed on there, that can drive the ball in the gap, you get a timely placed home run. I think that's an exciting game right there. But you're right. You get these pitching lineups or these pitching setups where you got a guy up there who's just dominating and nobody's hitting the ball, and it's just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're watching a guy go out there and dominate pitch. There's got to be a happy medium somewhere. But they're teaching all these guys just to angle the ball up at a certain degree and hit with swing as hard as you can and hit the ball as hard as you can because it might go out.
And
that's philosophy nowadays.
Yeah, which is just a shame because there's so many different guys and so many different skill sets in baseball and so many different tools that players bring to the table.
Oh yeah.
And you're not doing them a favor. You're doing them a disservice when you're telling them, I know your tools are this. I know your tools are you're really fast or that you just get hits. And by telling them that, look, you've got to launch this out of the park, it's got to have a certain, angle to it. You get Victor Robles. That's what you get. You get a guy who's got 3 homers on the season, staring at his 3rd home run going out of the park. Because Victor Robles,
and then putting on a clown nose the next day.
Yeah. Because the thing about Victor Robles is I think he's a really good baseball player, but that's not his strength. It's speed.
See, you give me a Victor Robles, you get a Juan Soto, and you get a guys out there. You get a Ketel Marte would be like a number 6 guy on a really good team. You know what I mean? And he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but on a good team, he'd be like a number 6 hitter. He might even not be an everyday player. You get some of these guys out there that can move the ball around, drive the ball, put the ball in the gap. To me, that's when baseball's exciting. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. It's just too much bad news in the first hour. We've got to shake off the 3 o'clock catastrophic blues. The Coyotes announced today they have a new assistant coach on the team. They welcome aboard, according to general manager Bill Armstrong, they welcome 3-time Stanley Cup champion John Madden. No. I know what you're going to say, Fourth Dimension. No. It's not that John Madden. This is a different John Madden. He looks nothing like the other John Madden, the old football coach. This John Madden is an assistant hockey coach. We are pleased to add John to Andre Turigny's coaching staff, said Armstrong. John's an experienced coach and a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, proven winner, who had a very good NHL career as a defensive specialist. I'm confident he will be able to help our penalty killing unit and will be a great addition to our staff. So there you go. John Madden was formerly with the San Jose Sharks. And he brings a whole new edge to the team that I think the Coyotes need.
And it's exciting because the team's so young. They'll actually, like we hear teams bring in coaches and you hear the pedigree of the coach and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But depending on the age of your team, if you got an older team, I don't know how much that guy can do. I think the fact that these Coyotes are so young and that Bill Armstrong is trying to build from the ground up, now you bring in a guy like that and you've got these lumps of clay, basically, you can mold into the team that you want. I'm really excited about where the Coyotes are going.
Yeah, I am too. And the kind of players that they have added to the team and the kind of contracts that they've added to this team. Remember, Armstrong put together the St. Louis Blues. They were their most recent Stanley Cup victory was the doing of general manager Bill Armstrong. And he seems to be doing the same thing here, picking the pieces that's going to help this team grow. They might not win a Stanley Cup this year, but, the idea is to grow every year, bring some new life in here, get some key veterans in here, and get this team headed in the right direction. Get some really solid coaching, solid goalkeeping, play defensive hockey, get some snipers out there. I mean, I think it's going to be exciting to see what the Coyotes do. Of course, now you're in a building that only seats 5,000 people, and it's over in ASU. Why not?
And if I'm not mistaken, you'll be playing most of your games on the road because your building only seats 5,000 people. Yeah, it's a mess.
Boy. Anyway, welcome to the Valley, Coach Madden. We wish you well. A lot's going on in the world of sports. We've got some football we want to get to, and I want to ask you, Keon, before I go on, our coaching salaries in the NCAA coaching salaries getting too rich. You kind of ponder that for a little bit because we're going to talk about it. But I was on NBA.com today. Imagine that. And what do I read? Well, the reigning NBA Coach of the Year, Monty Williams, has been rewarded for his part in Phoenix's recent resurgence. And it looks like Phoenix Suns coach Monty Williams has agreed on a long-term contract extension. He had 2 years left on his original 5-year deal and now moves under contract for several more seasons, although I can't find out how many more seasons because it's not stipulated. It just says, quote, long-term. He will be with the team for the foreseeable future, according to the Woj.
That is one of those that they just haven't put the details out there. I don't know why not, though, because that's one of those things you'd want the fan base to feel good about. But,
Yeah, I mean, why aren't we? I haven't heard anything about this. Why isn't anybody talking about it? Monty Williams has done miracles with this ball club.
I think that Monty Williams, best coach in the league last year during the regular season. And were there moments in the playoffs where it looked like he got outcoached a little bit? Yeah. But for the most part, Monty Williams is a fantastic coach. And I only expect the Suns to go up from here because of how he is as a head coach and how he is as a person.
He has compiled a 149-78 record in 3 seasons with the Suns. That's incredible.
Especially what the team was when he took over. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, including leading the team to consecutive playoff seasons after a 10-year postseason drought. Congratulations to Monty Williams signing a long-term extension. He'll be here with the Phoenix Suns for some time. We don't know how long. They've locked up Devin Booker. They've locked up DeAndre Ayton. Some people say it's great. I hope it is. I hope it's great for the franchise. I hope this kid grows. And we'll have to see what happens. I don't think that the Suns are done making moves. I don't feel like the Suns are done. I think there's a whole lot more they're going to do in this offseason, and they're going to really put their sights on the finals next year. All right, that's hour 1 down. Boy, we got through that one. Wow, with the news of Hollywood Brown, and then the news of the new Diamondback hurting himself on the first day of batting practice. Oh, my God. We avoided that one. When we come back, it's hour 2 of the Daily Blender on this Taco Tuesday on 1580 The Fanatic.
The great folks with General Acrylics here in Phoenix remind you, if your health permits, please give blood now and as often as you can. The average shelf life of blood is only 42 days. In order to meet the increasing demand for blood in our communities, be a hero and give the gift of life. Roll up your sleeve and donate blood today. This message is from General Acrylics here in Phoenix. Life is the most precious gift you can give, so please become a blood donor.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
For the latest in the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix, 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
It's a Tuesday, Taco Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. 4 o'clock straight up on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona sports betting station. My name is Randy White. Right over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio, Keon Rose, on the tables of steel sealed behind the glass wall. Pushing the buttons, taking your calls, 888-368-1580. Well, actually, we don't do calls on this program. We are the most interactive program in the entire planet. You text in on the text line at 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Remember, we have that $100 Kasai Steakhouse, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse gift certificate we're giving away again Friday. Jeffrey O'Brien on vacation. He'll be back Thursday. And then on Friday, we'll be giving away another $100 gift certificate, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. This is an experience unlike anything else, I think, because you have your meal prepared right at your table. It's as Jeffrey likes to say, it's dinnertainment. It's fascinating watching these chefs work right there, table side, preparing their meals. The food is amazing. The ambiance is wonderful. And I know you're going to enjoy it, especially if you get $100 on us to go to the Kasai Japanese Steakhouse and enjoy it for yourself. It's their Christmas in July campaign. It's going on right now. When you go over there and you buy $100 gift certificate, you get $20 gift certificate free. Or a gift card. I guess it's a gift card, isn't it, Keon?
Yeah, it's a gift card.
I'm sort of like old fashioned, aren't I? I keep saying gift certificate.
I mean, it was that for a long time, though. I remember being a kid and hearing gift certificate. Yeah.
Well, here's your gift certificate, Sonny. I'm like the old crotchety guy. Get off my lawn. Here's your gift certificate. But now it's a gift card. So you buy a $100 gift card, you get a $20 gift card absolutely free. That's $120 value for only $100. Look at that. I did the math right here. All right. So that's coming up. Be listening for your way. I don't know how we're going to qualify them. I really think we should do text of the day each day, maybe each hour. Text of the hour each hour. What do you think? Maybe we can we could choose a text each hour, and then we qualify that person.
I'm okay with that.
All right, 888-368-1580. Breaking news today: Hollywood Brown on the non-football injury list for the Cardinals heading into a training camp, which is really sort of a soft open today. Everybody did report. Everybody is there. Rodney Hudson is there, but Hollywood Brown's got a hamstring issue. Coach Cliff Kingsbury, all he had to say about it was
time to rise up,
which I wish he would just say something else instead of just time to rise up. But anyway, he doesn't seem too worried about it. Also, the big news: the Diamondbacks' brand new draft pick that was at the park last night, when the Snakes won a 7-0 victory over the Giants last night. Drew Jones injured himself today in his first batting practice with the Diamondbacks. He has already had a magnetic resonancing imaging or whatever, resonance in imaging or MRI. Doc Mike is probably out there laughing at me, but he's already had an MRI and they've gone to a surgeon now to see what the next course of action is. So that is heartbreaking for this young man. We've talked a little about Suns have extended Monty Williams for several more years. Other news today: Joe Burrows went in and had an appendectomy today. What are you doing today, Joe? Oh, I don't know. I think I'll have my appendix out. Yeah, CBS Sports reporting Joe Burrow had to undergo an appendectomy. He'll be out about 4 weeks to recover. That's like the entire preseason, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is the entire run up to the season, basically, which tells me that this was an issue recently, because I can't imagine Joe Burrow knew this was a problem and didn't get it handled earlier than this.
Well, I would have to imagine it was something that just happened right now. I mean, you don't wake up and just schedule an appendectomy, right? I mean,
I don't think so. No,
I've never had one myself, but according to Mount Sinai Health Systems, most patients leave the hospital 1 to 2 days after surgery. He had his surgery today. And according to recovery times, generally 2 to 4 weeks.
So I guess we'll see him either middle of August or end of August, which is that's training camp. That's all of training camp.
Wow. So we're not the only team that had a catastrophic news today. So I should feel good about that. But so Joe Burrow in the hospital, had an appendectomy. So far as I can see right now, everything is fine. Did you hear what Jim Harbaugh said? Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh. He said, last week it was the SEC media days. This week it's the Big Ten media days going on. It's the big preseason media days. Everybody gets a chance to go out, talk to the coaches, interview some of the players, get a sort of a preview of what the season's like, and get some questions answered, things like, kind of like Super Bowl media week. So Jim Harbaugh, we know he's a man of faith. And he's told his players and staff members. I have to take a minute here.
Yep. There's no easy way to say this, Randy.
Told his players and staff members that if they find themselves with an unplanned pregnancy, he and his wife will take that baby.
And he said it just like that, too. Can you think of any deterrent to having a child than that child being taken by Jim Harbaugh and raised by him? Raised by him. We are talking about a human being who only wears khakis, who eats his steak with a glass of milk.
So Jim Harbaugh is he's a man of faith. And because of his faith, a practicing Catholic, he told ESPN, I've told them, being my kids, boys and girls, the same thing that I tell our players, our staff members. I encourage them, if they have a pregnancy that wasn't planned, to go through with it. Let that unborn child be born. And if at that time you don't feel like you can care for it, you don't have the means or the wherewithal, then Sarah, his wife, and I will take the baby. He has, which I think is an astonishing statement. And as a man of faith myself, I could tell you, I understand what he's saying, but wow, can you imagine
No, I can't imagine.
There with his Michigan hat on and his whistle and his oversized khakis.
If anybody said this,
probably his cleats on.
Oh my God.
Push!
If any other coach had said this, it wouldn't be quite that ridiculous, but it's him. He has to be one of the most ridiculous coaches in college football. Like, it just, imagine giving a child to Jim Harbaugh and walking away and going, yep, that kid's going to be fine. I don't see it personally. Kid's going to be A-okay.
Hey, listen, he has the means.
This is true.
More than enough money.
That child is going to grow up to learn to eat steak and wash it down with a good glass of milk.
Good glass of milk. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the text line at 888-368-1580. Big George says, Keon, I know about your Washington Nationals ending the Dodgers 8-game winning streak last night in L.A. Just show you that on any given day, the worst team in baseball can beat the best team in the National League. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
George, will you stop it? The Diamondbacks are not going to win a wild card. They're just not going to happen.
I also feel like you took that opportunity to point out that my team was the worst team in baseball casually. They are. I know this. I didn't need to hear it again. But, thanks.
Let's see here. Blissful Hayes asked the question, did the Arizona Cardinals present a miniature check to Kyler Murray when he signed his contract? A Post-it note size check.
Wow.
That's hurtful, Blissful Hayes. Donnie wants to know if Jeffrey's on another vacation. Yes. Yes, he is. Boogie, I got Coyote season tickets, 5,000 fans in a small venue to go, going to be very cool. Yeah, I hear you, Boogie.
Yeah, if you're a season ticket holder, that's going to be fun for you.
Okay, the Hefty Lefty says 4 weeks recovery is definitely just a regular appendectomy. Very easy procedure, 2 small incisions around the belly button. Do we need to go into this? I feel like we need some sort of music because it is Joe Burrow. Remember in last year, he had those glasses on. He had them kind of wild clothes on. So here we go.
Had the Joe Cool chain.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 small incisions around the belly button. Then it should be easy. Thank goodness it wasn't an emergency appendectomy. On that one, they cut you open from the nipples to the waist and flush out your insides. Ooh. Really?
Oh, wow.
Where else do you get content like that but here on the Daily Blender?
You can't. You don't. There's nowhere else.
Big George wants to know what's the problem with having a glass of milk with steak. Big George, come on. Come on.
I would think the problem is self-evident. If you don't know, if you have to ask,
Blissful Hayes, you need to stop it. Just curious, will the Coyotes be playing in the Pac-12 conference or has that dissolved?
Oh my God.
Stop it.
You're out of line, sir.
Blissful Hayes. All right. Seahawks. I'm sure this had to be hard for Chris Carson. Seahawks reporting Chris Carson will be retiring after 5 seasons because of that neck injury. The 27-year-old Seahawk running back retiring, according to NFL media. Seattle will technically release Carson, a former 1,000-yard rusher with a failed physical designation. That will allow the veteran to collect injury protection benefits, but his playing days are over. So it looks like they're doing him a real solid because the way they're releasing him, he still gets his money from his contract, and he also gets protections afforded him under the CBA through the NFL because it's a football injury. which I think it's a solid thing for a team to do. After you've given everything like that, and this kid's only 27 years old. He's got his whole life ahead of him. He underwent vertebral fusion surgery in December, which has which has limited his range of motion. So he's not going to be able. He's been going through rehab, and they haven't cleared him. So it's time for Chris Carson to face the inevitable. He's going to have to give up his playing career. So,
which is a damn shame because he's a good football player. And you hate to see something like this for somebody that, I mean, I don't know that much about Chris Carson. It always seemed like he played the game the right way, and brutal runner. I mean, just destroyed people.
Oh yeah. But a lot of people said he was like a miniature beast mode.
And it makes perfect sense. And he played football the way Pete Carroll wanted. But you get certain injuries, and the neck is one of those. It's scary. I wouldn't mess around with that. And when you're talking about we fused vertebrae to the point where you can't really turn your head, you got to hang it up. And I'm sorry that his career is over this soon, because I know how much football guys miss their career. I think more than any other athlete, I think they miss playing just because of the camaraderie that comes with being on that 53-man roster in the NFL. I hope he's able to find something else in life that allows him to be happy.
So Chris Carson hanging it up at 27 years old, and the way they're going about it, the Seahawks are they're doing a good thing, taking care of a football player that gave everything. Justin Jefferson out of Vikings camp. Donnie, I hope you're listening. I'm doing Vikings news now. Out of Vikings camp, Justin Jefferson has a bold statement. He seems to think that he's going to be the first ever 2,000-yard receiving receiver. What do you think about that? Could that happen with with what's happening in Minnesota and the change of the offensive changeover, and Zimmer's gone, and now you got Kirk Cousins still driving that offense? Is it possible for Justin Jefferson to have a 2,000-yard season?
I believe him. It sounds crazy, but first off, you've got the extra 17th game in the NFL, so that's going to help him to reach that mark. But also, look at who their head coach is. Their head coach is Kevin O'Connell. Now, every head coach in the NFL, or at least every young head coach in the NFL, coached for the Washington Commandos at one point and left that organization for one reason or another. Kevin O'Connell's another guy. Was a quarterbacks coach there at one point. So I know what Kevin O'Connell wants to do. What he did last year with Cooper Kupp as their offensive coordinator. Move Cooper Kupp all over the field, have him play inside, have him play and work the middle of the field and try and get leverage on some of these safeties down low. I really like the idea of bringing that to Minnesota and applying that to Justin Jefferson, because Justin Jefferson can do everything that Cooper Kupp can do and then some, because he's so physically gifted and so talented and so fast. He's a willing blocker, which I think you have to be to kind of be in that Cooper Kupp role. But they're going to take that Cooper Kupp offense, what they used in LA with the Rams, and they're going to put Justin Jefferson in that. He's going to rack up yards.
So the thing that Jefferson is saying with this new O'Connell offense, he's going to put him in different situations, put him in motions, put him in different places on the line, put him in spots to get the ball more. And he says because of this new style offense, he thinks it's going to be an uptick in his production, and he should have no problem in breaking the 2,000-yard mark. I don't know, though. I don't know, though, because you still have the common denominator here is still Kirk Cousins. Can he get the ball to him? Is Cousins able to live up to the expectations of this new offense?
Yeah, I think he can, because I don't think Kirk is a bad quarterback. I think with Kirk, I don't think that he plays up to the money. The money that he makes is the kind of money you pay a guy to elevate, but he's not that person.
Yeah, but it's hard to do when Mike Zimmer's being a real, what? He's being a real Richard to the guy because he doesn't like him. And it looks like, according in this article here that I'm reading, Mike Zimmer didn't specifically try to give Jefferson a chance to break any records either. It looks like he was a real Richard to not only Kirk Cousins, but Justin Jefferson as well.
Well, yeah, I think that's what happens. If you're going to be that to your quarterback, then guess who suffers? I mean, the rest of the offense.
Exactly.
That's the reason why whether you like it or not, teams bend over backwards to make quarterbacks happy. Because if he's happy, more than likely the rest of your offense is going to work out. So they're going to be making this an offense that's friendly to Kirk Cousins and friendly to what he wants to do. And Kirk is an accurate thrower of the football, which is what's going to be required for this. He can throw the ball accurately. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the league, but it's a big enough arm. But he's going to be able to find Justin Jefferson, and he did a good job doing that. From the moment Justin Jefferson set foot in the league, Kirk Cousins knows where to go with the football, knows who's going to make him look good and make his quarterback stats look good. He's been finding Justin Jefferson from the beginning. All Kevin O'Connell is asking is, hey, now we're going to put him in the slot sometimes too. Now we're going to work him out of the backfield sometimes too. And we're going to come up with a bunch of creative ways to get Justin Jefferson open. You just put the football there.
Well, they were talking about it on the morning show, and I agree. If he breaks this record and he becomes not only the team's record holder for most yards in the season, Randy Moss has 1,632. Last year, Jefferson had 1,616 yards, so he fell a little short of that. But if he breaks the 2,000 yards, he'll be the next man up. According to Dale Hellestrae, that's why Kyler got paid the way he was, because he was the next guy up. That's why he got this enormous contract. He was the next guy up. Justin Jefferson, if he breaks his records, he wants to be the next guy up and get the biggest paid contract in NFL history for a wide receiver. You think he deserves it?
If he puts up 2,000 yards this season, what it's going to take to get him there? Because, go back and watch what the Rams asked of Cooper Kupp last year. They asked him to do damn near everything, but he's not. And even then, Cooper Kupp didn't do last year as much as the Vikings are going to ask Justin Jefferson to do this year. And if he puts up 2,000 in this system, playing the way that Kevin O'Connell wants him to play, he's going to deserve it. He's going to earn it.
All right, Justin Jefferson looking for a 2,000-yard season. It's never been done before in the NFL. He's hoping to do it this year. We'll have to kind of watch and see what happens as that unfolds. NFL, more talk right around the corner here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. Alice Roth was the wife of a sports writer in Philadelphia, and one night she was hit with a foul ball, and it broke her nose. They had to stop the game. When the game resumed, they realized they needed to get Alice Roth out of the ballpark. She was in bad condition. But on her way out of the ballpark, another foul ball hit her again, this time breaking a bone in her leg. Who hit that foul ball?
When you want trivia from the world of sports, Daily Sports Quiz host Nick LaCapria has it. Baseball lovers, go online to baseballtrivia.org. Basketball fans, check out basketballtrivia.net. Football fans, head on over to footballtrivia.net. Hockey trivia, that's hockeytrivia.net. And boxing fans, log on to boxingtrivia.net. Stay tuned to this radio station for the Daily Sports Quiz or visit Nick LaCapria's sports-specific trivia website.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz, name the player that hit two foul balls that hit Alice Roth and the same at bat. Richie Ashburn. The odds of hitting a fan with a foul ball at a baseball game are 300,000 to 1.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
For the latest in the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Wendy's knows cold and soggy fries are the worst. So soggy. That's why we're serving up hot and crispy fries all day, every day. And all night until close. With natural cut potatoes, sea salted to perfection. Show me that potato skin. Wendy's hot and crispy aren't like other fries. We're your dream fry. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's hot and crispy fries.
Guaranteed to be hot and crispy. If yours aren't, bring them back and we'll replace them.
And that one is out of here. The first half of the baseball season is in the books. Now, things really get fun. Will the Mets hold on to take the East, or will the defending champs make it interesting? Swing and a liner, fair ball. The Astros are starting to look like the Yankees' biggest contender, or will the Twins set sail in the second half to challenge for the AL crown? Get the latest from around the MLB on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Big George on the text line at 888-368-1580 wants to know, is Nick LaCapria married to Alice Roth? Because I've heard the same piece of sports trivia at least 100 times on the station. Settle down, big fella. Settle down. Booger Wolf says, I'm back in town, you gelatinous, swiny goofs. Did the mighty fourth dimension miss me? Go Niners, baby. Yes, Booger Wolf, we missed you. Donnie says, Keon, I'll save you a seat on the Vikings bandwagon this year. I mean, after everything you said about Justin Jefferson, the way you were bloviating about how great he is.
I like him a lot. I've liked him for a long time as a player, but what I like here is the match, because sometimes you just need a coach that matches what certain players are good at. And I think Kevin O'Connell is a fantastically good fit for Justin Jefferson as a receiver.
But is he going to be fantastic for the Vikings, though?
I mean, he's a first-time head coach, so there's going to be some ups and downs, but this is not a bad Vikings team. This is a pretty good Vikings team, but they've got some skill position guys that are A++ talents, and Justin Jefferson is one.
888-368-1580. Twitty wants to remind us, steak with milk is against Jewish dietary laws. Thank you. The Hefty Lefty says, at least steak and milk are from the same animal. And then Jag Dog wants to know, I could eat chocolate taco all night. You mean the ice cream sandwich, right? He means the ice cream.
He means the ice cream sandwich. I don't care what he says. That's what he means.
888-368-1580. As we progress towards 6:00 tonight, Jeffrey O'Brien on vacation. My name is Randy White. That is Keon Rosen. This is the Daily Blender. You are the fourth dimension texting in on the text line to 888-368-1580. Von Miller. Would you say Von Miller is a good trash talker?
I don't know, actually. I don't have like good Von Miller stories about.
Really?
I'm not saying that he's not. I just haven't heard.
I would think Von Miller's a good trash talker.
I would say he beats people well enough that if he does talk trash, I mean, what can you say back to the guy?
A flashback to the NFC playoffs last season. The Rams had built a comfortable 27-3 lead over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Von Miller and the rest of the defense, they were brimming with confidence and pretty assured of themselves how the rest of the game is going to go. They were so comfortable, as a matter of fact, that Von Miller felt comfortable talking a little trash to Tom Brady. Apparently, Miller found out quickly how badly that can backfire when Brady helped lead the Bucs to a furious comeback that tied the game at 27 in the final minutes. The Rams would eke out a win on a last-second field goal, but Von Miller says that's the last time he will trash talk Tom Brady.
Don't do that.
Just another one on the list. You can imagine there's probably a list that Tom Brady has. That he writes down. Oh, okay, Von Miller.
I mean,
right.
20 plus years of football. Tom probably has a book now.
Yeah, I think it's funny because he was Von Miller shared that to Mike Silver on the Volume podcast or whatever it was on Twitter. He said, "Yeah, no, I won't do that again." You don't trash the GOAT, man. A lot of people, we get a lot of people saying how they can talk, but the guys walk a little lighter around Tom Brady because he has this sort of, I don't know, this knob that he turns up when somebody makes him angry.
Because he's vindictive.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
He's vindictive and petty.
And I think that when you start looking at some of these greatest of all time caliber players, that's one thing they've all got in common. Michael Jordan's got it. Tiger Woods has got it. You know, I mean, guys on the tour said for years, this new Tiger, he's a nice guy. For years, you couldn't be friends with Tiger.
No, he would not. That was part of the game.
Wouldn't talk to you.
He wouldn't even talk. He wouldn't even look at you.
So you've got all of these high level guys. I mean, even Jeter, a guy we think of as really nice and easygoing. You know, if you slight Derek Jeter, I mean, we've heard his comments about Alex Rodriguez. It's been years since those comments were made, and Jeter still hasn't forgiven him.
Yeah, but still, it's fun to hear these stories.
Oh, no, it's great. Trust me, I'll never get tired of it. But the idea that you thought you could trash talk Tom Brady and get away with it, no, never do that. You know, I remember
Tom Brady's got that old man strength, man.
when my Washington Commandos fell ass backwards into the playoffs a couple of years ago, Chase Young.
When they fell ass backwards into the playoffs,
they won the division at 7-9. Okay, you didn't dominantly march into the postseason. You fell backwards. All right, you stumbled and tripped and somehow wound up in the postseason. Chase Young was chirping about Tom Brady the whole week. Oh boy, I can't wait to hit him. I can't wait. He didn't touch Brady once. Chase Young had a hell of a rookie season. Didn't touch Brady once.
Yeah.
Don't trash talk him.
888-368-1580. The Jag Dog Randy, what are your thoughts on Alex Manoah, Toronto pitcher, talking smack to almost all the players after striking them out? Bush League? Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him. I mean, if players can go up there and hit one, you know, where the fence is 320 feet away and they hit one 329 feet and they dance around it like they're in a nightclub somewhere because they hit a home run and they're throwing their bats all. The last time I checked, throwing equipment is an ejectable offense. But let's just go ahead and throw it. Let's go ahead and throw the bat, flip it like I'm all that and start strutting around the bases because you hit a home run. Then I guess it would be okay for a guy to talk crap.
I'm okay with it. Look, if you can dish it, that's fine, but take it too.
Hefty Lefty says, I imagine Tom Brady as Steve Buscemi in Billy Madison, just crossing people off his hit list. I can see that. Yeah. 888-368-1580. So was it that Drew Brees was bad on TV? Or was it that like Jeffrey says, that birthmark that he should get taken care of was too unsightly? That gangly spot on his face, or what was it? Was he just I couldn't put my finger. He just looked too, dare I say, stiff, because I know what the fourth dimension will do with that. What were you, when you saw him, what did you get? Because NBC trotted him out there for the Sunday Night Football thing, and then they ran him out there for the of everything else they could have had him do. They run him out there. He played at Purdue, so let's put him on the Notre Dame Irish football broadcast. Mm-hmm. I can see the connection there.
I think, you know, with Brees, I thought he did all right. I really didn't see what the issue was. Maybe, you know, he got on TV and it just wasn't as cracked up as all it was cracked up to be. It could just be as simple as that. I have no idea. Or maybe he would rather, you know, work in the broadcast booth as opposed to the pregame, halftime, postgame circuit. That he might prefer that. Maybe NBC was like, yeah, there's no opportunity for you to do that here. It could be any number of things, but I don't know that it's his performance per se, because I thought he did all right.
Brees said himself, he says, I do love broadcasting NFL games. I think I could be one of the very best at it if I chose to go that direction. Yeah, why did they put him in the studio as like a studio analyst guy? Why didn't they put him out on one of the broadcast teams?
I mean,
well, I guess NBC really didn't have
they've got the
a
one
broadcast team,
and you're not beating Collinsworth. It's just
now here's a guy
they like him.
I mean, he used to be good, and I don't know some of the edge. Anyway, he wants to pursue. He says that he's still exploring options as a broadcaster. He believes that he could be, Drew Brees is one of those guys. He's kind of like Tom Brady. Don't tell him he can't do something. He'll will it into existence. He's one of those fierce competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I would like to hear him like on CBS, or I'd like to hear him on Fox. Go out there and, dear God, can we replace Aqib Talib with Drew Brees, please?
I would be okay with that. Yeah. Aqib Talib is I like that he is himself in the broadcast booth. He's not trying to be anybody else, but part of it.
I get that, but sometimes
he's so scattered. Sometimes,
dude,
it is
focus.
It's one of the most disorganized sounding broadcasts. Anyone that he's on.
Well, Brees may have found a balance to his broadcast career. Prime Video is beefing up its programming around Thursday Night Football. Front Office Sports reported a couple of weeks ago that Brees could be a key component of a quarterbacks only megacast. That would be interesting. Although I don't know, you get too many See, that's what I find sometimes with the Manning broadcast. You have two quarterbacks, both of them. You got Peyton, who's like uber knowledgeable about it, and then you got Eli.
But the thing is, those guys are funny, and they know how to play off of each other. I think if you were to do this with Drew Brees, you'd be leaning into a more serious version of that broadcast, just because Drew Brees is such a serious guy. He's not really much of a kid around kind of person. You would have to find another personality, I think, to kind of balance with him.
Oh yeah, definitely. He'd have to be paired with the right person.
And I agree with you. Why stick to just quarterbacks? I don't think Randy Moss is doing anything right now.
Yeah, I don't think Randy Moss wants to do anything.
And that's possible.
888-368-1580. Big George says, I don't think Drew Brees was all that bad on the NBC broadcast. I thought he was good. I mean, they keep that chucklehead Chris Collinsworth around, so I don't see what's wrong with Brees. Well, like I said, I don't know either. I thought it was a multi-year contract.
It was a mutual parting of ways. I read. So it's not even that they fired him. He wanted to move on, and they let him. They let him out of the contract.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this Thursday night broadcast thing. 888-368-1580. Well, it's official. 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan came out today and confirmed what we already knew, that the 49ers have moved on to Trey Lance. They have made the announcement, flanked by his GM. Shanahan made it. He said, look, we're not fooling around here. We talked to Jimmy today when he showed up here in the facility. He's on board with us. The team's on board with us. Trey's on board with us. I'm on board with it. So why should we mess around with it? We're moving on. Trey Lance is our guy. Dude. How do you take a team like the 49ers after what Garoppolo's done for you? Look, I know it's a cap hit thing, but are they really sold on Trey Lance as a starting quarter? I mean, they must be.
Yeah.
But can this really be what they're doing? I mean, really?
They had to be. The day they traded up to go get him in the draft, they had to be sold on him, because it was too much that they gave up for a guy like that to not be sure. But after his rookie season, you go, okay, we've been working with you. We've been coaching with you. We've got 2 off seasons and a regular season of having you in the room, in the building. You got to study under Jimmy Garoppolo. You got to see how he works. You got to see how much time he puts into his preparation. Now you go forth and do that. And the thing is, you can't give the team to the young guy if Jimmy Garoppolo is still in the room. You actually do have to hand the team to him, so that those guys in the locker room know, okay, Trey Lance is our guy. We've got to follow him. We've got to support him. we've got to back him up. And yeah, they're ready to move on from Garoppolo, because what they're hoping with Trey Lance is that Trey Lance gives them something physically that Garoppolo's just couldn't give them. I mean, you go back to that Super Bowl that they went to and that they lost. What was the defining factor? Because Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play bad in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The other team had Patrick Mahomes. That was the deciding factor.
Yeah.
And you're Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, and you're putting your two heads together. If the only thing you can come up with is if we had a guy like that who could make throws like that, who could run around and extend plays like that, man, we would have a Super Bowl by now. And so they're gambling that Trey Lance in the long run will wind up being better than Jimmy was recently.
Jimmy G cleared to practice, Shanahan said. He does have a throwing program like all guys do when they have an elbow or shoulder surgery. There's that protocol for how you build them up. He'll be doing that on the side. We don't plan on practicing him with the team, but we'll take it day by day and constantly talk with him. And hopefully we can figure out the best for both sides. Wow. I mean, Garoppolo completed 68.3% of his passes for 3,810 yards with 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions last season, recording a 98.7 passer rating, leading the league in yards per completion with 12.7, second in the league with completion rate of 71.7% since week 10, and fourth in passer rating with 103.6 in that same stretch. Damn, Carolina is missing out. Carolina is missing. They have it all wrong.
I don't understand what Carolina's doing from that front. It's the Baker thing I kind of get, but I only get that if Jimmy's off the board. Jimmy's on the boord. Jimmy's a better quarterback than Baker.
Bro,
all
right. We can talk about that. We got your text as well. Don't forget, we still need to pick somebody to qualify. Well, I hate to say that. We're looking for the text of the day is what we're looking for this week for that $100 Kasai Japanese Steakhouse gift certificate that we're giving away on Friday. So you be out there thinking about how you can have the text of the day. And when we come back, we've got more NFL talk, and also our college football coaches overpaid, making too much. We'll talk about that when we come back on the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
This is Dale Hellestrade from my friends at Constructors Bonding. If you need bonds, you can put your trust in Arizona's industry leader for the best service, rates, terms, and capacity anywhere. Constructors Bonding is the #1 writer with 14 sureties and will improve your bond program. Call Dave McKee today to learn how Constructors Bonding will perform for you. 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
Man, I slept.
New ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep is made for people who are tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
A melatonin-free sleep aid made with a botanical blend that contains clinically studied and effective valerian root, hops, and passion flower, shown to help promote better restorative sleep. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep. Sleep this good, feel this good. Available at retailers near you.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Taco Tuesday here on the Daily Blender on 1580 99.3 The Fanatic. As we roll through the halfway point of our show till 6 o'clock tonight, Jeffrey O'Brien on vacation. Keon and myself will hold the fort down until Thursday when he returns. Looks like we're going to have an active weather day here. I was just looking at the radar. Lots of activity out there. Boy, we had overnight at my house. I don't know about you in Tempe, Keon, but overnight in my house in the West Valley, we had a great soaking thunder shower last night.
Oh, wow.
It was good.
Yeah,
man.
no,
About midnight, stuff was going on around my house.
There was the giant gray cloud above our apartment complex and kind of nothing else. And then it spread out eventually and got to the entire area.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was nice. It was nice to have that coolness after the rain. It was a good feeling.
Yeah. I've got a nice cigar waiting for me after I get off the air tonight. I think I'll be sitting on the back patio with Miss Kim, enjoying that and enjoying this reprieve of the heat here in the Valley. My son he got back from the Middle East. He just returned home. He was on a 6-month tour. And, hang on, my phone just closed. And, there it is. 98 degrees right now in downtown Phoenix. So he's on his way over to San Diego, as a matter of fact, to enjoy some R&R, well-deserved R&R. And I said, dude, you're leaving at the wrong time. So, yeah, pretty busy out there. So be careful if you're driving around. Looks like the Northwest Valley, North Valley, Southeast, Casa Grande, that area is getting hit pretty good. We'll keep you posted here if anything major breaks, but pretty good amount of moisture in the air. 888-368-1580. The text line is humming along here. Let's see here. Pair him with Jamarcus Russell, the odd couple of quarterbacks. Pair what? Jimmy G with Jamarcus Russell
or Drew Brees
or Drew Brees. Dun, 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 dun. Watermelon says, Randy, Keon, you're the stat man. I hear Randy just rattle off Garoppolo's numbers. How does it stack up to Kyler Murray? And how would you have felt if he were to come to the Cardinals over Murray's big contract? You mean Jimmy G to come to the Cardinals? Is that what you mean?
I think that's what he means. Kyler last season, 69% passer. That puts him ahead of Jimmy, in terms of completion percentage. 24 touchdowns, 10 INTs. It's a better touchdown interception ratio for Kyler. Look, the numbers are going to be nice to Kyler. Kyler puts up numbers. I have a problem. I have a question, not a problem necessarily, but I have a question with both guys. When crunch time is on, I don't know if I can trust either guy to win football games late in games. The fact that Kyle Shanahan would stop throwing the football and would just call run plays late in games, that scares me about Jimmy.
But is that Jimmy G or is that Kyle Shanahan?
I think Kyle just didn't trust him. And look, it also is that Kyle had that running game at his disposal, and when you have a running game that good, but I saw him go away from Jimmy in crucial points. And I think if you have a quarterback that you really believe in, you don't go away from him in crucial points in games in a quarterback-driven league, in a passing league.
Well, you better not see that this year. You better not see Cliff go away from Kyler. And you better see Kyler step up and take this team to the next level. Or the Big Red Sea will fall all over Kyler Murray. Booger Wolf says, get ready for Niner domination this year, boys. I'll hear the Keon hate now. By the way, Jimmy got no love from you guys last year. Now, all of a sudden, he's good. You Bucci haters.
I never hated your Niners, so I don't know where that's coming from. And Jimmy's okay. He's okay. I have always said this. I've not changed on this. He is an okay quarterback who gets paid like he's a great quarterback.
So Jimmy G, better than Baker Mayfield?
Yes. But like
Jimmy G, better than Sam Darnold?
Yeah, but again, that bar's in the basement. I mean, how you don't have to be great to clear that bar.
So what we said just a few minutes ago, Booger Wolf, was North Carolina, the Carolina Panthers have got it wrong. They're working out Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield when Jimmy Garoppolo is available. And by the way, yes, I think the record still shows Cardinals 3, 49ers 0. Last Optimist is on the text line, 888-368-1580. Kyler Murray paid. Coaches pile on homework. Madden franchise cries. What?
Because Kyler's going to be playing less Madden? He'll still buy it, though.
Oh, yeah. He'll play it. He'll play it and buy it.
They don't.
What was that quote again? Remember, let's remind the fourth dimension of what you found earlier on today from a New York Post article from when was it? Last year?
New York Times. I'll give you the date.
Times.
Okay. This wasn't that long ago.
Kyler Murray's own words, New York Times, ladies and gentlemen. You wonder why this clause is in there? No, it's not to make Kyler Murray look bad. No, it's not to hurt his feelings, his little gentle feelings. Go ahead, Keon. Tell him why Mr. Bidwell had to put this clause in his contract.
This is a direct quote from Kyler Murray from a New York Times article called Inside the Mind of Kyler Murray from December 23rd last year. So this wasn't
just last year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not even a full year ago, like 7 months.
2021. Remember December 2021? After the meltdown? Go ahead. Please do share with us what Kyler Murray said.
I think I was blessed with the cognitive skills to just go out there and see it before it happens, Murray said. I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit there and kill myself watching film. I don't sit there for 24 hours and break down this team and that team and watch every game because in my head, I see so much. That's what, and to a degree, I believe him. I mean, the guy has been playing football for a long time. And when other kids were playing, and you give the ball to your best player and it's all running plays. Kyler Murray was playing 4 or 5 wide receivers wide in middle school. So he's been playing the game at a level ahead of other kids his entire life. And I think
it cannot hurt you. It cannot hurt you to spend just 4 hours extra a week breaking down tape on the other team.
It can't. And in fact, it only helps you. If you think that you have those cognitive abilities, that you go out there and you can just see the play develop, imagine how much better you would be if you watched film.
Blissful Hayes, speaking of Taco Tuesday, I could eat now. Blissful Hayes, stop it. Now,
come on.
Stop it now. Hefty Lefty, welcome back, son of Randy. Enjoy that well-deserved lead. Thank you very much, Hefty Lefty. I'll pass it along to him. Booger Wolf says, don't forget, Niners were 1 dropped interception from being in last year's Super Bowl. Yeah. Random texter, Randy, just an FYI, it's a chilly 83 and rainy here at the 30H exclamation point 3. What the hell is that? Is that a code? Did I do something?
I have no idea.
3 OH exclamation point 3. 83 and raining in the West Valley. Okay. Hefty Lefty says Kyler was probably 3 thimbles of egg, not deep. When he spoke to the reporter, he was obviously partaking in too much holiday cheer. Okay, I got it. Kyler was probably 3 thimbles of eggnog deep when he spoke to the reporter. Okay. I got it. 888-368-1580. 3 thimblefuls deep of eggnog when he gave that out. All right, Chicago Bear fans, I have the plans in front of me.
Uh-oh.
We started the show talking about this.
Uh-oh.
There's 3 options for a stadium design. Jeez. There's 3 options here for a stadium design for Soldier Field to keep the Bears in the city. Is that her? Is that that's the mayor? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I want to know how she's planning on paying for this.
That's a great question.
She says it's the city of Chicago project. Option 1 is building a dome. Option 2, building the stadium to become dome ready. And option 3 is to make the stadium into a multi-purpose stadium, likely for major soccer use and improve hospitality for concerts and other events. In terms of building the stadium centered around the Bears, staying here is what the renovations would look like. Okay, according to the mayor's office.
And I'm supposing that that's part of it, is that they'd be willing to get the city to help pay for the doming of that stadium, but then you would be able to bring in other sports franchises who could share the stadium, concerts, in the winter, those kinds of things that get
concerts
people
in the winter in Chicago off the lake there.
Yeah.
Dear God.
That's why they want a dome, Now, granted, the dome that they're proposing looks very dumb. From the one picture I saw of it, it does not look good. But,
they're going to expand the seating from 61,500 seats to 70,000 total seats, including additional fan activation areas, increasing the number of traditional suites from 133 to 140. So they're going to add 7. Quadrupling the food and beverage square footage from 50,000 square feet to 200,000 square feet, adding secondary club and activation areas to as many as 20, creating more flexible event space and multi-purpose venues, including up to 4 venues with capacity ranging from 5,000 to 60,000 or more. And they're talking about the city is not opposed to making the stadium a taxpayer issue. The Bears at this point have shot down all the proposals. What a terrible use of words. How terrible is that? The Bears have shot down all the proposals in Chicago? We have to talk about this more, Keon.
I'm sorry. There's a reason why the Washington Wizards are not called the Washington Bullets anymore. You cannot say that in an article in a city where gun violence is a major issue.
Shut down all the proposals?
Come on.
My God.
Who's the editor at that paper?
2 hours down, 1 to go. It's Daily Blender on a Tuesday here on 1580 and 99.3. They shut down the proposals? Really?
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Contractors, are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go. Serving all types of contractors of any size, licensed in all states. When you need better bonding, Call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
Gain presents a tale of longing and long-lasting scent. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Add Gain scent beads for an even longer lasting scent.
Are your kids enrolled in school? Their future depends on what they're learning right now. Find an Arizona school near you at azed.gov. Make sure your kids get the academic support they need. Plus, give them community care whenever it's crucial, with meal programs, counseling, and more. Find an Arizona school near you at azed.gov or call 602-542-7378. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education.
Did you know that Constructors Bonding has been Arizona's leader in surety management for over 40 years? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than anyone, anywhere. Contractors, developers, attorneys, car dealers, and hundreds of other industries turn to Constructors Bonding for their bond solutions. Call me personally at 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution for better bonding.
My name is William Yank. I'm a 23-year-old, 3-time leukemia survivor. Leukemia Lymphoma Society was this unforeseen blessing because I wouldn't have been able to get CAR T-cell therapy. Ways that I advocate for cancer is probably mostly through my podcast and my Instagram or TikTok. It's so vitally important that we have Leukemia Lymphoma Society on our side.
To give or get help, visit lls.org.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K2.2 Robins Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
And welcome, everybody, to the third hour of the Daily Blender on this Taco Tuesday, July 26th. It's live from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale. My name is Randy White. Right over there, the sexiest fan in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. And on vacation, but back Thursday, Jeffrey O'Brien, the third member of the Daily Blender and our fearless leader. You're texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. Don't forget, looking for the text of the day to qualify you to win Friday, a $100 gift card. Sorry, I fell back into my old ways of saying certificate. Gift card for the Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. This is an ongoing thing, and we will present the winner of the best text of the week. A $100 gift card to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, celebrating Kasai Japanese Steakhouse's Christmas in July promotion that's going on, where if you go in, you buy a $100 gift card, they get a $20 gift card absolutely free. $120 value for only $100.
Yeah, so if you're going to go to Kasai and eat there anyway, for instance,
man,
and you get the gift card and you pay with the gift card, you get another 20.
It's never too early to start thinking about Christmas gifts.
Also true.
Just saying. 888-368-1580. So much going on. We finally have got to the portion of our show where we're talking about the Bears wanting to do renovations that would cost the city of Chicago anywhere between, moderately thinking here, $900 million to $2.2 billion.
Of course.
Let's see. Gang violence, homelessness, desperation. Let's build a $2 billion stadium. Why don't we?
Let's build a $2 billion roof to the stadium we already have.
Seems like a good expenditure for the city to make. Meanwhile, I take issue with the Bears having shot down all the proposals. Who the hell is the editor here?
They could have easily just said rejected and said the same thing. That is, whoever is the editor, is this Yahoo Sports? Whoever's the editor over there, slacking. You are slacking, sir. Or ma'am.
They have rejected all proposals coming from the city, and they are committed to the agreement that they reached to purchase land in Arlington Park, where the Bears are going to develop a new, casino area. They're going to put in kind of like what you see out here by the Silver Nest out in the West Valley. A big, a complex shopping and dining and all that, all the accoutrements. But Lori Lightfoot, mayor of the great city of the Broad Shoulders, believes this is something that the city needs to continue to work on. She says on her Twitter feed, Soldier Field remains an incredible asset for the city, residents, and visitors. These proposed renovations allow Soldier Field to retain its role as an economic engine for Chicago for years to come, allowing us to keep bringing sports, music, and other events to our world-class city. And there's a rendering here of the dome that they want to put on Soldier Field. Dude, just bulldoze the thing. Just bulldoze it. I've been by it. It's right there. If you look at the picture on the right on Mayor Lightfoot's Twitter feed, that's the way. I can't imagine parking. That must be a nightmare. You'd have to use public transportation, which they use. I'm sure they use more than we do here in Phoenix. But you'd have to use all sorts of public transportation to get in there. And it's right off the lake. It's frigid. It's windy. I can't imagine a winter night or a late fall evening, a Bears game there with that wind coming in off the lake there. That's just got to be miserable. That has got to.
You would think so, but people from there, they figured out how to deal with it. Don't ask me how.
They haven't even recouped out of that building what they put into it. And it was 20 years ago. Didn't they just redo it? They remodel it like 20 years ago. Soldier Field. Okay, it's a great landmark there, but if you're going to do this, do it correctly. Holy cow. And don't put the burden on the city. I understand. I get it. But wow. I can think of, I don't know, a couple hundred different things that you can do with the taxpayer money that would be more helpful than trying to keep the life in a Soldier Stadium there, Soldier Field.
It's okay to move on from stadiums. It's fine.
Hefty Lefty wants to know how many square feet of Kevlar will be used in the stadium. It's a good question. Booger Wolf, all I know is the Washington Salamanders are going to suck big time. Welcome back, Booger Wolf. Good to have you on the show.
Been a while.
Cardinal Art says, what the heck with all this hoopla? I need a brewski, Randy. I hear locust, and it's humid and hot. Probably tinnitus. I have it as well. Blissful Hay says, when the Bears have their grand opening for the upgraded stadium, they should get Machine Gun Kelly to perform. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Jagdog says Shanahan hates Jimmy G as much as Zimmer hated Cousins. I don't think so.
I don't think he hates him to that. Well, okay. So I don't think he hates him to that degree, because I don't think anybody, if you ever have someone in your life that hates you as much as Mike Zimmer hated Kirk Cousins, you have done something very wrong to that person. Or they just hate you, because that's what happened with Zimmer. I don't know what Kirk Cousins ever did to Mike Zimmer, but I think that Kyle just didn't trust Jimmy G at points. And you could just see it. Like there were games where, not the last NFC title game. I think the NFC title game before, where they beat the Packers, they ran the ball that entire game. They didn't trust Jimmy to throw it. Not really in that game, you know. And I think they played the Vikings earlier in that playoff run, and in the fourth quarter, they were running. They were not going to Jimmy, so they don't really trust him in those moments, and they're hoping that they can develop Trey Lance into a guy that they do trust.
Boomer Sooner is on the text line and says, "Good day, Randy. Happy Tuesday to everybody in Blender Nation. Really, could I get a beer, a shot? I get a beer, a shot, and a little Boomer Sooner for a Tuesday. Thank you." Then he goes on to say, "Sorry about the above, Randy. A double dip on me. So you need a beer and a shot and a Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner. Then you want a beer and a shot. Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner." There you go. All right, 888-368-1580. So the Chicago idea, I know it's a beloved part of the downtown and everything. It'll probably be, but I just think it's wrong, especially with the situation that's going on in Chicago with the gun violence that's out of control there. You should do something to try to fix that situation, try to get people out of harm's way, try to clean up some of the, the craziness that's happening in Chicago before you spend $2 billion. Think of what you could do to help the city with $2 billion. That could be even better. And let the Bears worry about their stadium.
Yeah, with $2 billion, think of the after-school programs. Yeah. Think of the school improvements. It's one of the worst public school systems in the country. Yeah. Think about all the stuff that you could fix with $2 billion. But quite unfortunately, we live in a world where worrying about Soldier Field and worrying about where the Bears are playing and if they're staying or if they're going to Arlington Heights, that's the stuff that unfortunately I think gets you reelected.
Doug Peterson is in Jacksonville, and so far the camp has only been open a few days here. But according to reports, the Jacksonville Jaguars have gone a complete 180. Some people are calling it a seismic change in culture over the past 12 months. The Doug Peterson has walked in there, and some guys, Josh Allen specifically says it's a night and day difference. Just after one practice, they said it's night and day difference. It's good to be a part of a professional locker room, not only in the locker room, but also when you talk to the coaches. It's a professional setting. You have to hone in to the details. If you're not listening to the details, it's not getting onto you. It's telling you what's right and what's wrong. As guys, as grown men, we got to understand that, and he puts it in a way that we can understand it and grow. He's not getting on us. He's letting us know what's real, and he's talking to us like grown men. How about that?
Man, Urban Meyer, how does he have any respect left?
Well, his career's got to be done, isn't it?
How could you hire him? Like, knowing what you know about the guy right now.
Certainly you're not going to hire him after the fiasco in Jacksonville.
I mean, you would hope not, but I know that's why he's on Fox right now. Urban Meyer has enough money. He's not on Fox right now because he needs the money. He's on Fox because he's trying to rehab his image. And I don't know how that's possible. Like, I really don't know how that's possible. The damage that he did to his reputation while he was in Jacksonville. And I'm not just talking about, grinding on the college co-ed in Ohio. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the way that he carried himself while he was coaching that football team. Nobody liked him. Okay. You're kicking, kickers and calling them all sorts of names, which means if you treat the kicker that way, how are you treating other people? I just don't understand how you've got any belief that anyone's going to hire you to coach football after this.
It seems like I have this feeling. I don't know how good Jacksonville's going to be, but it seems like the players, there's been a cloud lifted off of the players. There's been this pressure that has been removed from these players, and everybody is now happy to be playing football again. And from all reports, I was watching the NFL Network earlier today at lunch, and they're really impressed with Trevor Lawrence. they're really impressed with the way he's delivering the ball, the way he's soaking up this offense, the way that he's performing. Yeah, it's okay. It's practice. But don't you feel good for Jacksonville? I mean, listen, I'm a Cardinals fan through and through. But I think it's great that these guys are being treated like professionals, and they have a coach in there that knows what the hell he's doing. And it's not some guy who's kicking a kicker who's on the ground saying, don't miss your kicks today, treating him like he's some sort of sub-being because you're the great and powerful Oz and you've pulled all the string. Give me a break. What happened was the curtains were pulled out from in front of you, and you were exposed for who you are, Urban Meyer. And if any other football team wants to hire this guy, that's their mistake. 888-368-1580. We're talking NFL football. Yeah, it looks like this team. What do you expect Jacksonville to do this year? Listen, they had a pretty decent team.
I expect them to be better, yeah.
Do you think they'll win 6?
Do I think they'll win 6? I mean, in that division, they probably could win 6. Somewhere around 5 or 6 games. Their defense is punishingly good. We can start with Josh Allen, the pass rusher, of course, not the quarterback.
Right.
I mean, that guy is a freak athlete, and they do so much stuff with him. He can rush the passer, but he's also a guy, that you can show a blitz and drop him back in coverage, and he stays with running backs. He stays with tight ends and receivers. I mean, he is a freaky athlete. And they have a few of those guys. And then, of course, they went out and tried to beef up the wide receiving core. I think they probably paid too much money for Christian Kirk. But they're trying, and they're trying to get Trevor Lawrence weapons, people he can throw the ball to that he can really rely on, because they didn't have a whole lot of that. And their running game is going to get better. I know I think Robinson's hurt right now, but Travis Etienne was supposed to be the number 1 running back that they drafted last year, and he was hurt last year. He didn't play at all. Well, Etienne's a guy you can use not just as a running back, but he can play a little receiver too, and kind of move all over the field in a very Deebo Samuel kind of way. So I think the Jaguars are going to be a better team, and yeah, I think 6 wins, maybe even 7, wouldn't be crazy.
Well, you're right there with Las Vegas. Las Vegas is 6.5. That's their prediction for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think it's good. I think it's good for football that this team gets out from under the cloud of and all the stuff that was going on. I love to see a team rise up from the ashes. Meanwhile, in New York City, Robert Saleh is trying to stay positive with his Jets. He's trying to preach a new mantra. It's the PVO mantra: positive vibes only, baby. He said we were going through a self scout, and there was a little complaining about some of the stuff that we were seeing on tape. And I said, whoa, guys, we are PVO. We are positive vibes only. We're not complaining about what we see. We're finding ways to get better. That's what Saleh told the Post. As a matter of fact, he's going around camp wearing a positive vibes only t-shirt. He's looking to improve on his 4-13 rookie season. So hopefully he can lead the Jets to brighter lights and maybe an 11-year playoff drought. I hope nothing but good for Robert Saleh. I think he's a good dude and he's a passionate coach. And I love the way he's going about it. He's not all beat up. He's not taking on the stress of New York City. He's trying to breed confidence in these guys and help these guys to be winners and think about things a different way.
And they've put in the work this offseason too. And it's not just that they showed up with the same Jets team that they had a year ago and are trying to make something new out of what they had. They got a whole lot better. They went out in free agency and made some big moves. They went out in the draft, and I thought they made some really big moves, made some solid moves in the draft. So they're going to be a better football team. They didn't have a whole lot of talent last year. They are a more talented football team now than they were a year ago. I think Zach Wilson's going to be better. he was showing some things near the end of last season. The second half of last season, he was a whole lot more sure of himself. He stopped holding onto the ball as long and started getting it out of his hands quickly. Now you're going to give him weapons this year where the guys he's throwing to will actually catch it. I'm excited for where the Jets can be.
Yeah, and if he can get that defense to play up to a Robert Saleh defense, man, they could do some damage. They were 4-13 last year. I'm not saying that they're going to go to the playoffs or anything, but I think you could probably look forward to a jump in productivity for this New York Jets team. So we'll have to keep our eyes open for that. Although, who's a Jets fan, so
we know.
Blissful Hayes is on the text line at 888-368-1580. The Bears are proving once again they don't give a damn about winning. The move to Arlington Heights is all about business. It's a big FU to Chicago. The Bears are greedy bastardos. Well, I mean, they're a business too, right? I mean, I know it's hard to separate a football team that you're a fan of. You want them to go out and be winners, right, Keon?
Yeah.
And when you see them make some sort of a move to make, their business more lucrative, but that's good for the team though, isn't it?
I think overall, but I can't understand the fans saying, you're threatening to move. You got a perfectly good stadium right here. People show up and watch the Bears play. Even though they're not good right now, people show up and watch the Bears play. And so I think it's fair for fans to want a team to, despite being a business, to be loyal too. I mean, there's a certain degree that we expect that from players. I don't think that that's wrong for a fan base to expect that from their organization, to say, hey, you can make a few more dollars going to Arlington Heights, but your fan base is in Chicago, and Soldier Field means a lot to that fan base. Stay there, stick it out.
Well, then if they do, they should invest money in it and make it worth staying.
Yeah. And not ask the city to do it.
Well, and I think that maybe that's the shortcoming of a mayor of the city who's panicking a bit. 888-368-1580. Good Cat says, hey, Keon, would you say Jimmy G is a perfect example of a system quarterback? Under cheating bill, he was a decent quarterback. Outside of that, he's been below average or average. I don't know. I think last year was an example of above average. Seemed like he was above average to me last year.
He put up some big yardage numbers, but he was above average, but he was like kind of in that, you've got your top 10 guys and he's kind of outside of that group of 10, maybe closer to the 15 in the grouping. Yeah, I think he is a system quarterback, but I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think people say that like it's a terrible thing. This guy's a system quarterback. You know who else I think is a system quarterback? Mac Jones. I also think he's going to have a great career because he's going to do a good job inside of his system. I think every quarterback needs a great system. Some need a great system more than others, and Jimmy is one of those guys. That's not a bad thing. That's not a knock on Jimmy. That means he's got to be in the right system or he's not going to be successful.
The Last Optimist says Bears don't want City of Chicago's landlord anymore. There are a lot of ticket taxes and fees that go to the city budget and not to the stadium. Cubs have complained loudly that the city entertainment taxes on Cubs games did not help maintain their stadium. Could I please have a Guinness and a shot of Irish whiskey, please? Absolutely, Last Optimist. And there you go.
And that's a really good point.
Yeah, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about it a little bit more. Swave Dave, I see you. Pringle, I see you. We'll get to your texts and even more as we continue on this edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Diamondbacks hosting the Giants. Arizona plus 120 on the money line. San Francisco minus 152. The over-under at 7.5. With the second half of the season in full swing, the Dodgers are the heavy favorites to take home a National League pennant at minus 5,000 after opening at minus 200 before the season. The Padres are at plus 1,600 and the Giants at plus 1,660. Most recent American League odds much tighter with the Yankees at plus 275, and the Astros plus 375. The NFL preseason underway a week from Thursday ahead of Hall of Fame weekend. The Jaguars and Raiders in Canton. The Buffalo Bills, the favorite to win the Super Bowl at plus 600. Tampa Bay plus 700, and the Chiefs and Packers plus 1,000. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwhiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwhiners.com. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from The Main Event, here to tell you about Access Property Advisors. When I need to buy or sell properties or get them rented out, Access Property Advisors gets me the best sales price or lease terms to make my rental properties profitable. Jason Sellers has an impressive team of professionals at Access Property Advisors, experts in just about anything you can need with real estate. So whether you want to find the home of your dreams, sell your home, or manage your rental property, do what I do and give Access Property Advisors a call at 602-614-5590. That's 602-614-5590, or visit accesspropertyadvisors.com.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works overtime with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget is available as a concentrate or extreme reach hose end. Purchase Wet and Forget in-store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
It's a game of intimidation, a game of power, a game of strength, speed, and violence.
Plus, they have these little guys called kickers. We are your gridiron connection to the NFL. With the live games you want and the pigskin news, scores, and talk you need. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Arizona's home for the NFL.
It's a Tuesday edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. I'm Randy White. That is Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien on vacation. He'll be back Thursday. We are in the midst of talking about quite a few topics here. Remember, this is the most interactive show in the universe. The text line humming away here at 888-368-1580. Fourth Dimension handling a couple of things. One of them is get in on this Kasai Japanese Steakhouse $100 gift card giveaway. We've been looking for the text of the day, and I may have found it. Swave Dave. A limerick. Cards paid the big buck. To Murray's, good luck. But if he doesn't study, will he be their buddy? Or will Hard Knocks show he's a dumb cluck?
That's clever, man.
Swave Dave. Write down Swave Dave. Text of the day. I don't have anything in front of me, or I would. Swave Dave, text of the day. You're in the drawing. Friday, be listening. to see if we draw your name, Swave Dave. That is very, very, go Cardinals, he types out as well. 888-368-1580. Big George says, Lori Lightfoot's approval rating per the Chicago Sun-Times is at a dismal 25.8%. She wants to rename Soldier Field and build a dome. That's a big no-no in Chicago.
She is trying to save Soldier Field in her own way. I understand that the no-no is the dome and the renaming of it, but if the Bears leave Soldier Field, then the Soldier Field have the same value to the community that it did before. Maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not from Chicago, but she's trying to keep them from moving to Arlington Heights because she wants the consumer money, the money of people who go to the games, and they're coming out of the game afterwards and there's restaurants and everything. She wants that money to stay in Chicago, which I guess I can respect to a degree, but yeah, you have $2 billion. You need to find a way to use that a whole lot better.
I don't blame the city for going after those dollars. I don't blame the city at all. But I do blame the governor or the mayor for trying to use tax dollars to make this happen. I think there's just too many things for people to worry about in the city of Chicago rather than spending $2 billion, up to $2 billion in improving Soldier Field. Joe the Show says over under Julio Jones, 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards with Brady. What's your thoughts, Keon? I think it's possible.
I think it's possible. I'll say what I said before. I am worried about Julio Jones' injury history. I've seen the guy play, in person. Went down to Atlanta and watched him. He's amazing. But as he's gotten older, some of the things that he's done in his career, just the physically impossible stuff that Julio Jones can do, it's starting to take a toll on him physically. And I don't know if he plays the whole season with Brady to put up the monster numbers that we'd all be impressed with.
Hefty Lefty says Urban Meyer's going to be the next head football coach of Bishop Sycamore. Oh, jeez.
Well, I don't know that you can. Boy, the head coach of Bishop Sycamore might be one of the shadiest human beings of all time. And I still think Urban Meyer might be able to take that job and go shadier.
Hefty Lefty goes on to say, I hope the next shirt that Selah wears is one with CJ Uzoma wore today. Zach Wilson on a Time magazine cover, Man of the Year. Wow. Mr. Pringle says after Murray signed the big contract, I can see him missing a lot of games. I bet he plays 7 games max this year. He's an injury waiting to happen. Over under on J.J. Watt games played should be set at 2.5. Mr. Pringle, you just don't like J.J. Watt. You're just mean-spirited.
Because if you're going to say he's injury prone, okay, again, J.J. Watt, I'll use the same thing I just said about Julio. Some of the stupid, impossible, crazy stuff we've seen J.J. do earlier in his career is starting to catch up to his body because Father Time is undefeated. But if you had your line at 2.5 games for J.J. Watt last year, you would have been wrong by 5 games. So I don't understand what this is outside of just J.J. Watt hate. And how can you hate J.J. Watt? He's a hell of a football player. The guy shows up, he tries every single day, works his ass off, and then he's a good human being on top of it too. How could you possibly hate J.J. Watt?
Wow, easy, Keon.
I'm just
getting into that rage again.
It's a little less subtle this time because I like JJ. JJ's my guy, man.
Wow. 888-368-1580. A thought from Kiss the Cook. My thought from yesterday, maybe Tyreek has to constantly voice his reaffirmations to get himself to believe Tua is a great quarterback because the other side of his brain is saying, what in the world did I get myself into? Just a thought.
Well, I don't think that's what he's thinking. He's going to get the ball a lot. And to hear Tyreek Hill tell the story, if you give him the ball in short yardage and let him make all the plays after the catch, he prefers that. So maybe he's just fine with Tua. But notice what he's saying to all of us. Tua's the most accurate quarterback. He's not saying Tua's the best. He never said Tua was top 5, top 10, top 15. Overall, just accurate. Just accurate.
888-368-1580. We shift gears and go to college football for a minute after guiding Georgia football to its first national championship in 41 years, Kirby Smart has agreed to a new 10-year contract that will pay him a record $112.5 million through the 2031 season.
Wow.
My question to you is: college football coaches, are they starting to get up there and get in the unreachable range where only elitists and schools that make money off the backs of their students and rake in money and talk about the Alabamas and the Georgias and the LSUs and the Notre Dames, and they keep talking about higher education, but it keeps getting more and more sports centric. And meanwhile, the common kid can't go to school for a decent pay, decent amount of money and get a good education and and move on. Oh, you can get a good education, but you're going to pay through your nose for it. Mm-hmm. Student loans. I mean, I don't know about you, but student loans for, 20 years after you graduate.
Yeah, I'm going to be paying student loans till I'm dead. I've just.
But meanwhile, Kirby Smart has no problem taking $112.5 million from the University of Georgia. Is that fair? Is that right?
Well, of course it's not fair. He's getting paid anywhere from $10 to $12 million a year. And I look in the format of what Kirby Smart is asked to do. Did he earn the money? Yeah. They asked him to go out there and win a championship. Look, it's funny money at this point. I don't think anybody deserves $12 million a year, but in the capitalist structure that we live in, it says that Kirby Smart is valued at that much money, and that's why he's making that much money. And he did go out and deliver a championship, which is his job. However, I should point out that we have passed the point where guys are being paid reasonable money ages and ages ago. The highest paid public official in the state of Georgia isn't the governor of Georgia. It's now Kirby Smart. The highest paid public official in the state of Alabama hasn't been the governor of Alabama forever. It's been Nick Saban. The highest paid public official in the state of Texas is Jimbo Fisher, followed by Steve Sarkisian at Texas. I mean, the list goes on. In most southern states, the highest paid public official in that state is a football coach, with the exception of North Carolina, for whom John Calipari, the basketball coach, is the highest paid public official. These guys have been being paid way too much for a very long time. I don't know how you reel it in, because every time one of them wins a championship, I'll go back to you quoted Dale earlier, that the next guy up gets a deal like this.
Yeah, I think it's crazy.
I mean, it's insane.
What's happened is college football has turned into professional football. And now with the name, image, and likeness thing, I foresee this thing just getting completely out of this world, astronomical. I mean, right now they're talking about potential earnings for Arch Manning. The kid is still in high school, and they've got this guy making a 7-figure deal to go to college and play football.
I mean,
then we got Brian Kelly and guys like that are making, $10+ million a year to coach football.
Wow. Yeah. That's just the way that this is going. And I don't think that this is a college football is just starting to become this. This is kind of the direction we've been headed to for a very long time. And when you come to the coaches, whether or not the players were getting NIL, the coaches were making this. Nick Saban has, again, been the highest paid public official in the state of Alabama. More than the governor, more than any health officials, more than the police chiefs, more than all of those people, health and safety.
That's what I mean. We've lost our minds.
Yeah. But the thing is, the sport just generates so much cash. You almost can't give it away.
But the state don't get that cash.
No, but it's the state that's paying, right? Like, that's the part that's insane.
Right. That's exactly my point.
This is government money that is going to Kirby Smart right now.
You and me, we're the ones paying it. And John and Jane Q taxpayers.
My list is a little bit old. I don't know who the highest paid public official is here in the state of Arizona anymore. It used to be Sean Miller, though. Arizona. It used to be him. So this is not just a Southeast thing. This is kind of everywhere. If you've got a guy that wins a lot at sports, he's going to get paid.
Kiss to Cook says, how is that possible? How are coaches, college coaches, making more than NFL coaches? I agree. How is this happening?
Because college programs are different from NFL franchises. NFL franchises are very, I guess, top down when you have the ownership and everything else. When you've got a coach that shows up, oh God, especially a guy that wins, like Kirby has won, like Dabo's won, like Jimbo has won. When you've got guys that do that, they show up, they run everything, the whole program, which is why when a coach says after an NCAA violation, boy, I don't know how that could have happened. Never believe them. Don't believe this. They're lying because they run everything. Okay. Herm Edwards, he's on top of everything. He knows everything, which is the reason why when it's time to face the music after certain violations and other things that have happened, you just go ahead and take it. Just take it on the chin because you're getting paid for it. You're getting compensated for it because you run the show.
This is home for us. Our roots run deep here, Smart said in a statement. My commitment to this university and our football program is unwavering. You can almost unwavering until the next paycheck comes along. I'm thankful to President Jer Moorhead and Athletic Director Josh Brooks for their continued support of Georgia football. It's an honor being the head football coach. I mean, just listen to that statement. It's an honor being the head football coach at the University of Georgia. Where's my $10 million, please? Holy cow.
The thing is that those folks, they hadn't won a championship since 1980, and I lived in Georgia. So I'm going to tell you right now, that fan base thought that they deserved to win a championship every year from 1980 until last year or until this year when they finally won it. They think this is money well spent. That's the problem is no one's going to complain about it.
Yeah.
The whole state thinks this is fine.
It's 888-368-1580. Quickly before we go to break, the only person to defeat Father Time is Mother Nature. She nagged him so much that he gave in and let her live forever. Okay. That was kind of fun. I mean, it was moderately kind of funny. Yeah. Mr. Pringle says, Keon, when did John Calipari become North Carolina basketball coach? I missed that one.
I'm sorry, Kentucky.
Oh, boy.
I misspoke.
Mr. Pringle's got your number now.
Man, I said the wrong state once. Though I'll also say, obviously, with Coach K at Duke, the highest paid public official up until Coach K recently retired was Coach K in North Carolina. So
Last Optimist says coaches' salaries are not paid from public funds. They're paid from sports revenues.
Okay.
What say you, Keon? Right?
I agree with that. But here's the thing. You get these sports revenues, and this money's supposed to go around to everybody. And it really just seems to stack up in football, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And basketball. It doesn't seem to really make it to field hockey and lacrosse.
I know that Notre Dame's not giving any money to their baseball programs. Have you seen those hideous baseball uniforms? Dear God. All right, we got to take a break a little bit late. When we come back on this date in Big Georgia's sports history, I might have the Wheel of Sports. We've got so much to talk about. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Everyone knows how beneficial therapy can be, but traditional therapy can be overwhelming, confusing, and inconvenient. When scheduling in-person therapy, it can be difficult to find the right therapist near you, and it can take weeks to get on their calendar. We knew there had to be a better way, and that's where BetterHelp began. I'm Danny, co-founder of BetterHelp Online Therapy. When Alana and I started BetterHelp in 2013, our mission was simple: find a way to make professional therapy accessible, affordable, and convenient for everyone. BetterHelp works around your schedule and lifestyle. You can connect to a therapist by phone, video call, or even text message. You don't even have to turn on your camera if you don't feel comfortable. And if your therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch anytime with the click of a button, because BetterHelp is designed with you in mind. See why over 2 million members have trusted BetterHelp for online therapy. Go to betterhelp.com/wellbeing and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/wellbeing. HarmonSolar.com/wellbeing for 10% off your first month.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com. Christmas in July is back at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. For this month only, get a $20 bonus card for every $100 gift card you purchase. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create food, fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. Enjoy a memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, and signature cocktails. Now through July, get your $100 gift card and $20 bonus card. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. Christmas in July is back at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver packages fast and affordably so you can give your customers what they want when they need it. We're delivering for one-stop shops, mom and pops, pop-ups, startups, retail, wholesale, large scale, small biz, big box, customers, customizers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you. USPS, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/delivering.
This is Brian Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
You're right, Blissful Hayes. Some of these college players could potentially make so much money they won't even need to play in the NFL. You're exactly right.
Well, sorry, I don't know about. I don't necessarily
that's
know
okay.
about that.
It's okay. I can't hear now.
Yeah, sorry, I just blew out your eardrums there with my.
It's all right, Keon.
Put up the audio to talk to you during the break, and then you got to pull it back down. No, I just, I don't know that that's necessarily true. You know, and Deion Sanders says this. You know, he talks, he keeps talking to guys. I don't think that's necessarily true. I still don't think that the NIL money is coming close to that point, unless you are a Bryce Young, who, you know, Bryce Young signed $1 million NIL deal before he took a snap last year as Alabama's quarterback. You know, Arch Manning, but we're talking about Bryce Young and Arch Manning. Okay, we're not talking about most guys. 99% of the guys playing college football are not going to see money that looks like NFL money.
Yeah, but it's a known fact that only 2% of all college athletes are going to go pro. The rest are going to go pro at something else. And some of these guys are going to be highly recruited high school kids. They're going to come in and they're going to get 6-figure contracts to come play football. They're going to be, but I don't have a problem with that. If you're out there playing and the school is making money off of you playing, then I think you should be recompensed. But gone are the days of, we're giving you an education, because they, you know, quite honestly, these kids don't, they have tutors, they don't see a classroom, they don't see labs. They, you know, most of them don't even finish their education. Some, you know, some of them go back, a good number of them go back and get their, get their degree when their time in professional sports is done. But a lot of these guys, when they're done, I mean, you know, they're sophomore, junior, they go to the draft and then they don't make it. They don't continue on, even though they had, you know, a free scholarship to go get finished. A lot of these guys are not taking advantage of that. But if you're going to college to play sports, I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it either, because the machine of this, I mean, look at what it's making Kirby Smart. Look at what it's making Nick Saban. These people are getting paid. And I'm not just talking about the coaches. I'm talking about TV executives that sign lucrative partnerships with a lot of these conferences. Then they go out there and rake in the cash and, you know, the player that's putting their actual body on the line, because we know football's not easy to play, that's the person who is not getting paid. If you can make a little, make a little.
The NCAA announced that the Division I Council had recommended eliminating the restriction against players transferring multiple times. What do you think about that? The transfer portal, the NCAA Board of Directors is expected to rubber stamp. I think that's so funny. To rubber stamp the recommendation August 3rd. So they not only have they relaxed it now, giving you a couple of transfers for one-time transfers. Now they're opening it up. You can transfer multiple times. So now you got kids, that might start out at, for example, might start out ASU, and then they want to transfer to UCLA. Oh, I'm not getting playing time at UCLA. I want to transfer to Wyoming, and not be penalized for doing that. They could just transfer all over the place. You see what I mean? Now it looks like it's. Who knows how crazy this is going to get?
This could get more crazy, or, and it depends on what the conferences do. This could get less crazy. There was a so this is where I think this is going. Just to be clear, I think that this is going towards the conferences using contracts or some kind of collective bargaining to get players to stay where they are. There was a group of players from the Big Ten. They were very clear not to call themselves a union. Didn't want to be seen as a union, but they are a group of players, basically saying that they would like to have some of the TV money that the Big Ten and Kevin Warren are making a deal for.
Are you talking about the College Football Ball Players Association?
Yes. They met with Kevin Warren in the Big Ten about that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a solid move, but you can use this as a conference to say, hey, if we get you on board and we get you some of this money, and I'm talking 3%, 2%, because at that point we're talking about, something like 40,000 a player just for showing up. You show up, this is what we're going to give you as part of the TV money. But because you're getting this right now, you can't transfer anywhere. You're agreeing that you're staying where you're going to go. We're going to have contracts. That's basically what's happening.
Listen, I'm all for that, but I mean this new transfer portal thing. Graduate students are currently allowed to transfer, making the maximum transfers allowed without a waiver at 2. The lifting of the restrictions initially had coaches head spinning. Yes, it is now at least possible for an athlete to play at 4 different schools in 4 different years. So Jimbo Fisher says a kid can go as many times as he wants and he doesn't have to graduate.
Yeah, that's the thing. The two is really 1, and then if you graduate, you get the other one.
This is just getting out of hand, though.
It is, but I don't think that these conferences are going to sit back and not have a solution. Again, the NCAA is not really stepping in to say what you can and can't do.
Well, no, they're just sitting up there rubber stamping,
Yeah,
we're just airheads.
Of course.
Okay.
This is just going to push a lot of these programs away from the NCAA. Like where we're headed with all of this is contracts. That the reason why the transfer portal is even a thing is because, you commit to a university, but you're not employed. So
well, I why not? I mean, it's coming.
That's what I'm saying. And as we start to get there, and as money is going to more obviously be a part of this stuff, so are contracts. So even though the transfer portal is going to be open and you can transfer however many times you want, I'd be willing to bet that the SEC or the Big Ten or any other combination of conferences, because I don't know what's going to happen with the Pac-12 and the Big 12 and all that, they're going to find ways to either contract with the students collectively or with them individually so that they agree not to move.
All right, we better get this out of the way before a 7-foot tall lawyer has a contract with me. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back on this date in 1997, New York Football Giants owner Wellington Mara, whose father invested $500 to buy the team back in 1925, And legendary coach Don Shula, who coached the Miami Dolphins to a perfect season in 72, were inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Also inducted in 97 was former New England Patriots quarterback Michael Haynes, who played college football at the greatest university in the world, Arizona State University. I saw him play, so I know he was one of the greats. Mike Haynes, ladies and gentlemen, Arizona State University. 888-368-1580. Last Optimist says unlimited transfers is to allow teams the best NIL financing to steal the top players. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's just,
I mean, that's what it's going to do, but I don't think that's why the NCAA is doing it. I'm not actually sure why the NCAA is doing it. I think this is a terrible idea to roll out in this way.
Well, it's just on a list of many terrible things the NCAA keeps trying to do.
Because it's going to be impossible to field and keep a team if a guy can just transfer anytime the wind blows. But the way they're doing this is just wrong. I think if you're going to open it up that way, then I really what you should do is try to figure out how you can set up structures that players want to stay in or agree to stay in. And to me, that's contracts. But I think the NCAA doesn't want to admit that that's where we are right now. So they're not going to do it. But if you have contracts, then even if you open up the transfer portal, if a player has agreed to stay at a school for 2 to 3 years or until graduation or whatever else, if they agree, then it doesn't matter. You know, your commitment right now.
Are you saying the only way this kid can get NIL money is by signing a contract and committing to stay at a university for a predetermined amount of time?
Well, not that the only way, because there are going to be schools that maybe offer more flexible. Hey, you know what? We're not going to close the transfer portal to you, but maybe a school's going to say, hey, we'll give you a little extra money if you agree to stay. You know, or in the collective bargaining case, if every player gets, you know, $30,000, if you're a kid that's growing up, you're really struggling, that $30,000 in hand is better than, you know, somebody else's maybe.
Yeah, some of the minor sports would enjoy that, but I mean, let's face it: football, basketball, some baseball guys, they have life pretty good.
So, some of them, but when we're talking about, especially just, you know, a lot of these players that are playing football, especially in the South, they're not coming from, you know, great backgrounds. You know, Laramie Tunsil is one guy that just, you know, because he had the bong mask on draft day, you know, his family got paid, but you know what they were getting paid through? They were getting paid to keep the electricity on. You know, like there's a lot of these players that are coming from places where their life is okay, but they're not in the glamorous spot yet. And that's where the NIL gets to be pretty nice for them. And I'm saying, if you can offer that on the front end and just say, hey, we'll give you this, but you've got to commit to stay here. I think that bird in hand is going to be better for a lot of players than, you know, the maybe that somebody else is offering.
888-368-1580. A few more minutes of the show to jump in and get your comments on that. Speaking of Auburn basketball, I don't know if you saw this article, but you know, Bruce Pearl, he's been a head coach, college basketball head coach for quite some time, and Auburn basketball is headed east to get a jump start on the 2022-23 season, going way east. They're going to play games in Israel. And of course, you know, while they're over in Israel, they're going to, you know, tour around a bit. So Coach Pearl, he has some advice for his team, saying as you go to Israel and you get in the Dead Sea, because of the salinity in the Dead Sea, it's easy to float. But whatever you do, don't fart in the Dead Sea, because what happens is if you fart in the Dead Sea, a suction happens, and you don't want to know what happens after that. So do not fart in the. And somebody asked him, well, how do you know, Coach? He says, I know from personal experience. Do not fart in the Dead Sea. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We leave you with that. Do not fart in the Dead Sea. It's a Daily Blender on the Fanatic. Bye.
Everyone knows how beneficial therapy can be, but traditional therapy can be overwhelming, confusing, and inconvenient. When scheduling in-person therapy, it can be difficult to find the right therapist near you, and it can take weeks to get on their calendar. We knew there had to be a better way, and that's where BetterHelp began. I'm Danny, co-founder of BetterHelp Online